could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. When we were on, I'd always thought.
Hello, welcome back to the Smite Draft League Week 6. We got a special treat for you here because this game was actually supposed to be played a bit on earlier in the season, but we've got it for you to enjoy right now. Immortal Division game here on the side of Order. We have the Oathkeepers, and challenging them on the side of Chaos, we have Sanctified. I'm Deelo, joined here by Anthony Malum. Anthony, how we feeling?
Feeling fantastic, Deelo. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a makeup set we almost didn't get to see, but thankfully, this week 6 to week 7 time period, they're playing it for us, and we get to see some exciting action. This game has pretty significant ramifications throughout the playoff scene for both of these teams. Oathkeepers has been on the way up, especially with their play lately. Looking at you, Perspective Duck, with the pentakill. And
Yep.
as we all know, Sanctified has not been playing up to their caliber. They're a smart team, they're a talented team, the EU boys, and they're trying to make a comeback and a strong ending push here.
And that's the question. When it comes down to these last few games of the season, do you find in your experience, Anthony, your infinite wisdom and experience, that teams are oftentimes more so making one final last hurrah, or do you see that there's a little bit less gas in the tank, that they're running on fumes?
Last season, there was definitely some fatigue. Both the teams and even the LCs would definitely be stumbling over each other to tell you that. But I think this season has been a bit different because a lot of games did get pushed to the makeup schedules, but the games that have been played, and anyone who played or watched season 1 will know this as a fact, have been incredibly competitive in comparison to season 1. So, while the fatigue will still be there at the end of any season, it's a shorter season. The games have been fun and crazy. Playoffs is around the corner. You know you've got a prize pool to work towards.
Very true.
There's a lot of worth here for players.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. A bit of a knowledge check there for everyone who's a longtime fan of the Smite Draft League, and for those newly hopping aboard, you've hopped in at a really good time because, as Anthony said, this has been a hot and heavy one. Quite a bit of action here. Going to be bringing that action right now. We do see that the Hobwob being locked in there for Sanctified, likely going to be playing the jungle, but also potentially could be a mid lane. We've seen to have some variability, but meanwhile, the high priority pick on the other side is on the defensive, the Athena.
Yeah, and I'm going to assume that this is going to Fenix to play in support. Fenix is the sub for Oathkeepers. Cosmic Vibes is not present for this game. I do believe we'll see Cosmic Vibes a bit later. He got a bit held up at the beginning of the set. But one thing that Oathkeepers has going for them is, despite the fact they're using their sub, they're a very cohesive unit. They play together a lot. They hang out a lot. They talk the most in the Discord if you ever peeked at the bot channel and checked the stats. And they scrim against each other even when they're on different teams for different scenarios. So honestly, I would almost say that they've got the best team setup overall, simply for the fact that they're all comfortable at all times.
And you can check the bot channel for them, but bots, they are not. They're looking to bring some aggression on, some solid execution on these gods. And it's interesting to see the real big dichotomy here, whereas damage is being heavily prioritized on the side of Sanctified, we see Oathkeepers are going to lock in their defensive front line first. And I commentated for a game pretty recently where that actually happened as well, where the Hercules was the first pick. And I, alongside my co-caster at the time, Jeffrey, doubted it, but it ended up paying massive dividends. Hercules in the right hands can do anything you want him to do. Tank, zone, and also deal out mountains of damage with that boulder. So honestly, could definitely be a winning strategy here if they're managing to use these CC heavy front lines to their advantage. Thor can also round out that physical side.
And HeavyWarcrier's Hercules is definitely a step above. Speaking of the pentakill game for Perspective Duck, that entire set we saw HeavyWarcrier quite literally standing in the fountain of the enemy team at level 20 while just kind of causing trouble while his team was doing Oni Fury at the end. It kind of ridiculous throughout the board. We saw some good kills early. I will say that Beau is strong competition and will definitely put HeavyWarcrier to work, assuming it is Beau in the solo lane, as we've seen through some earlier stages of the season. But yeah, the Hercules is a big pick. What is important for me here is we always talk about the global presence, the pressure of Athena and Thor as a combination. But what I find important about this Thor is the rotations from Akamaru to help out HeavyWarcrier and keeps the enemy souling behind are going to be
Mhm.
incredibly important to watch.
And definitely something that a Thor, obviously, with that early game presence, is going to certainly be able to provide. But providing a little bit more global mobility on the other side here, Sanctified going to lock into Giannis. This is actually my first time seeing Giannis here in the Smite Draft League Season 2, so I'm looking forward to it. What do you think this brings to the comp?
This brings a lot, especially with how Sanctified plays. Something that pops in my mind is when they played against Wild Inferno earlier in the season. They defended a backdoor attempt from Wild Inferno and were able to run down the map and win the game off of it. Giannis kind of creates these smart opportunities, and the scale of those opportunities depends on the team. When you have a team as smart as Sanctified and you add a Giannis into it, the possibilities are essentially limitless. And when you put a Horus on top of all that, now that your playmaking potential just goes through the roof.
And that means, though, that they're gonna have to really make sure they're executing those plays to perfection because, like you said, these gods have the potential to use these offensively, defensively, or for more wily means. And I always like to see these branching options where you can use these for some bit atypical tactics here. So hopefully, gonna see some wise play there from the Giannis and Horus in the positioning that they grant to their team. Maybe get some interesting drop on the enemy lines in these future engagements, maybe around an objective or two. But of Amana going to seemingly lock this one out, provide some solid AoE, some good peel, and also managing to be pretty solid against Hercules, in my opinion. Can honestly ward off a decent amount of the aggression by just dashing on out of there. In general, pretty well-rounded comps here. Baba Yaga and Ishtar going to finish it off there on the other side here for Oathkeepers. But generally, when it comes to comp, Anthony, what are our overall thoughts?
My thoughts are this is a good one. You've got Perspective Duck on the Ishtar. That's who Perspective Duck got the pentakill with last week. You've got
Yep.
Slim the Rebel on Baba Yaga. Until the announcement today, as we're recording this, as a matter of fact, of the Beans Baba Yaga skin, one of Slim's favorite characters. That's out the window now. On the other side, you've got a pretty ridiculous team comp, again, in terms of comfort. That's kind of the story for both sides. The fact that both teams are filled with comfort picks means that while on paper you could easily look at the presence and the damage of the Oathkeepers as them having the advantage for the game, you could just as equally look at Sanctified and say the same exact thing. So it's going to come down to a matter of who plays their comfort and finds the comfiest bed to sleep in.
Yeah, who I was gonna say the question is who is comfiest right now? Mattress Warehouse brought to you by Smite Draft League. Only one way to find out though. Let's begin sleeping in those beds. We'll see you in game one.
I could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone out, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. When we were on, I'd always thought we would make it, but now you're gone. Baby, you're a ghost. I'm caught up in a landslide, mental on the low end. When I used to feel alive, now there's a hole in the city, can't feel shit. Where do I go? Cause I know you don't feel this. Can't catch a break for God's sakes. Feel like I'm waking up and I'm caught in the wake. Yeah, I know this is my funeral on parade. I did it to myself cause I always thought you would feel the same, and I know you don't. Drunk off the lights of a city, late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone out, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. Let's hit the brakes. I'm pulling out the parachute, jumping out the plane. You had it all in front of you, nothing feels the same. It's crazy what love can do, even crazier when it's not coming back to you. You say you need space, so I gave you all the states. Every night a different
Hello everyone, welcome on back into the Smite Draft League Week 6 Immortal Division game here between Oathkeepers and Sanctified. This set's already a treat, but I've got another treat for you. It's actually now a Fenix cast. I'm Deelo once again, but joined here now by Fenix. Fenix, how we feeling?
Doing absolutely fine. I like the Fenix. That's a good name. That's a really good use of what's that, a ship name, right? It's when we
That is indeed our ship name, and I'm going to be joined by Fenix on the Fenix cast here, so got to be a bit of a
Sure.
deja vu there, seeing your own name up there. Fenix, how's it feel to be famous?
Feels very good. I mean, this is a good friend of mine, actually, Fenix. Not playing his normal role. Fenix usually plays Soul Lane, his main role. That's what he plays on our little side team. Seeing him on support is going to be very unusual, but not seeing unusual as HeavyWarcrier getting first blood into Beau. What a soul over there.
Sub-minute kill there. I mean, the aggression just must have been instant, but gonna be coming back with the quickness using that teleport as Beau. Must not be feeling too great about that. Hercules already providing that role as the lane bully. But yeah, talk to me more about this. So, gonna be interesting that we're seeing Fenix on the Athena, rather, and have to imagine there's gonna be some solid roasts coming Fenix's way. If he doesn't step up to the plate, Fenix, the pressure's on.
Yeah, he's Fenix. I know. I have FENIX. He's probably pretty upset about that. Doesn't really talk to me too much about it. But, I mean, he has Perspective Duck by his side. So this is the person who got a pentakill last week, as Anthony was talking about in the, the picks and bans. So if he could do it this time, it doesn't really matter what Fenix does, because Perspective Duck could possibly just carry this game if he does exactly what he did last week.
Bird supremacy is Oathkeepers' ticket to win right now. And Perspective Duck, even after the pentakill game, was really riding that wave, a solid wave of momentum. The Oathkeepers were really keeping the pressure going. So I'm looking at Perspective Duck as the rising star here for Oathkeepers to try to keep making it happen. But trying to make some damage happen right now onto the X-Ball. Gonna have to dash in out of there. That's gonna be a really important engagement to being able to dash on out very easily. But hold on there, the rotations come from both junglers. Akamaru gonna look for the backline, but meanwhile lurking in the back, we do see Adora gonna try to finish it off. Maybe just not paying enough attention there to your Perspective Duck. Duck gonna be drowned in the river. Not how you want to see your ducks go down. And Fenix is also gonna be fried up there. That bird is on fire.
Yeah, that bird is on fire. I know sometimes that Phoenixes can heal themselves or heal others, so maybe that will happen, but not a good start for the dual lane coming from Oathkeepers. We would love to see a little bit better, especially when, you have Perspective Duck on Ishtar, which is a great pick for him, but instead the Hubwa, big gank, and a really good use of the kit, knock up into a big water hose right into the face.
I think that was just a miscommunication there. Honestly, Akamaru could have done a lot, I think, to peel. You saw them use the wall instead to try to continue the aggression onto the backline, who was a bit farther removed from that engagement. Had you have decided to use that stun onto Adora, would have bought Perspective Duck and Fenix a little bit more time to get themselves a better position. I think Akamaru just got a bit too tunnel blind there, or tunnel visioned onto the kills, rather than realizing, hey, my team needs help. Unfortunately, going to lose those two for that.
Could have turned around onto the Adora for sure, that Hubwa that we were just hovered on right there. Would have probably made that fight go a lot better for Oathkeepers, but I think that team needs to go ahead and start looking forward. Oathkeepers need to start looking forward. Let's go ahead and let go of those two deaths. Let's see if we can pull this back and possibly get a kill in mid, or maybe another solo kill in the solo lane. That would be nice for a good old Warcrier.
That might just be the focus that has to be gone here now, because now we must also know X-Ball does have that passive, gonna be boosted up a little bit more, feeling good off that one kill in your pocket. Would have liked to see both go on to the X-Ball just to give that early power boost, but hey, still, one this early is pretty solid for you right now. So it looks like we have a tale of two lanes here, where solo for Oathkeepers going pretty well. Sanctified, though, making it happen in the dual lane side. And honestly, I think that's the worst luck of the draw. If you're Oathkeepers, you really want Perspective Duck to be the one who's carrying the banner for you. So we're gonna have to see if they're able to bring this back, maybe with some cheeky solo engagements between those two carries. Gonna have to see if they carry the aggression on when their supports are not around.
For sure. I think that you also want to take a big look at Slim the Rebel. Slim the Rebel, the captain of Oathkeepers as of right now. Speaking of Slim the Rebel, not even at all, but speaking of the birds, Fenix over here getting into a little bit of trouble, but going to be able to get out. Of course, very tanky Athena, starting out with the wonderful support item, which is Guardian Angel. What's it? It used to be called Guardian Angel. What's it called now?
Sentinel's gifts there.
Gifts, thank you. Yeah.
Our man iNooblet on the cams there, watching out for us, big brother. Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Going to be
Goodness
certainly
gracious.
supplying a bit more heft thanks to that Sentinel's gift.
But
and
we have
also providing some extra gold.
the opposing start, Benevolence and Sentinel's Gift. So we have Benevolence on Horse and Sentinel's Gift on Athena. I think that Benevolence is really good going into either the Compassion or the Heroism, because you're up against a Thor. And when you get stunned out by a Thor, it's just a full combo from Thor. It's not like a Bakasura or like a Daji or something like that, right? Where it's a lot of basic attacking. It's a lot more using all 4 of your abilities in a correct order and doing the correct damage in the correct way, basically. And that's what heroism is able to stop. And so I understand why we can see Dracull going into that instead of going into Sentinel's Gift.
That's a really good point. The kit dump from Thor is certainly the only real way to go about it. You're not going to see the Thor really have any different combo trees because there's one tried and true way that is objectively the best. But meanwhile, we're going to see an interesting engagement, 2v3 at the moment. Rotating on over, though, is Slim the Rebel, that captain. Going to be leading the charge there, going to be doing some bit of damage on the Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is an interesting pick. A bit of a mixed bag, quite literally, when it comes to the shapes that she can be throwing out of her pocket here. What do you think the Baba Yaga... Oh, hold on a second. Oh, no, I'm going to be able to dash that out. But hold on. Anvil of Dawn could be finding him. Lands on right on top of him. Finds the wall. Finds the double tap. Beau going to find their second dip into the fountain. Once again, solo lane, it seems to be where they're popping off here on the side of Oathkeepers. Seems to be where they're going to be finding their attention, too. HeavyWarcrier, but firmly in the lead. But, yes, returning back. Baba Yaga, where do you think that fits in here as a cog into this Oathkeepers puzzle?
It's really good with the support. Obviously, Fenix can taunt them in, and then you have 4 pools of fire around you from Home Sweet Home. And it's not very Home Sweet Home if you're on the team of Sanctified. It's really not going to be that nice. Because also, you have HeavyWarcrier, who we've already seen twice or 3 times this game. Yeah, doing a lot of damage with basic attacks. Speaking of gods with no basic attacks, this is a god right now with basic attacks, especially when you do a build like that. Ooh, big boulder coming out, but Colossal Fury will be the answer. That's a good answer by Beau right there.
I mean, it still looks like HeavyWarcrier got the better advantage of that. Dracull going to rotate on in, but I think HeavyWarcrier is privy to the fact that they're not going to really be continuing this aggression, looping around the back. We do see a very early Magi's Blessing coming in from Dracull. Not something you normally see coming in this early. Do we think that was the wise play? Obviously, for those Athena taunts and those stuns from the Thor, as well as the big knockers from Hercules, do you think it's wise to go for it that early?
To be honest with you, Magi's Blessing can always be delayed. It doesn't have to be the first thing you get, and especially against this team. The only thing that you're getting pushed by right now as a support, Dracull, that being, is probably Athena taunt, right? You're not going to see much of Hercules right now, at least in the first 15 minutes, until it gets to the Fire Giant, Gold Fairy fights, those objectives. So I don't really see it being super effective, but of course, Magi's Blessing has good defense on it, but not as good as something like Prophetic Cloak, or Spirit Robe, or Gauntlet of Thebes. So I usually always prefer those over that. You could easily go a second item. You could go Gauntlet of Thebes into Magi's Blessing, or Prophetic into Magi's Blessing. I think that's the better choice, but maybe it'll work out for him. I do not know.
I find myself being on the agreeing side of you as we see Home Sweet Home going to be deployed here, going to be throwing those fire circles down on Dracull. Dracull right now not feeling very cozy at the moment, but going to be sitting at a decent amount of health nonetheless. Ball going to use that water scroll to get them on out safely. Pretty regular engagement here. We haven't really seen Soulzc get too far into the action yet as well. But pushing up here in the dual lane side, we do see trying to restore some pressure here is Perspective Duck. Akamaru lurking around, not going to quite find anything. Standing on a ward, so understandable that. I kind of agree. No, not even kind of. I do wholeheartedly agree with you. I think Magi's Blessing could have been delayed there, honestly, in respect for something a bit more higher on the stats. But we're going to be in a bit of trouble right now. HeavyWarcrier finding the aggression returned onto him by Adora. Not going to quite find enough damage, though. Mitigate Wounds going to supply a decent amount of health back, you can only imagine as well. Akamaru now on the prowl, ult in hand, as well as HeavyWarcrier. This could be troublesome. Looking, as you might imagine, for the less mobile Habwa. Gonna not find the mark, though. Crashing Wave used, I think, a bit needlessly. They're going to drop at least a blue buff for your troubles, but Oathkeepers and Sanctified probably neither happy with that engagement.
Yeah, I think that Adora could have used ultimate when he was trying to get the kill, right? Like, that could have been a good objective kill, because they were well within range. The other funny thing about this is that Colossal Fury is still up. Both ultimates were up during that gank onto Hercules. It was just a big waste of time for both of them at that point. And HeavyWarcrier is still standing at 1-0-1, which is a really good position to be in after getting ganks, I think, 2 or 3 times now at this point. And also, both solo laners going for a Golden Blade start, which is a big item right now in the solo lane. Not as much protections, of course, but it's like the only thing you need. It's literally the only item you need, and you're going to be doing a ton of basic attack damage. That's especially true for Hercules, and I mean, also just as true for your opposing enemy, Vamana, who is a basic attack-based god.
Very true, but it seems that of these engagements, when it comes to smacking each other around, HeavyWarcrier is the one coming up with the bigger damage. Beau gonna be finding out in a moment after he watches the display. Says, "You see, that'll give you a up close and personal demonstration." Smacks him up into a wall there. Beau taking quite hefty amounts of damage from any poke engagement there from HeavyWarcrier. I think we're really just gonna have to wait to see the rotations before Beau can really leave their mark on the game, because at this rate, it's looking a bit unfortunate for them.
Yeah, a lot of counters nowadays as well for Vamana, with Erosion being a new item in the meta, as well as Sundering Spear not really making Vamanas very happy, especially the exploding ones. So
Very
we might see a Sundering Spear come out from one of probably the Hercules or the Athena, my friend Fenix. I just don't know how you have to answer a Vamana late game, but right now, man, the answer right now in the early game is just hit him in the face.
Smacking with a big stick, man. Adora here
Yeah.
looking for some damage, but not gonna find it. Instead, just gonna find a potion vial hitting you in the dome there. Gonna have to retreat on back. Some solid vision here. I'm liking the Oathkeepers, making sure to ward on up deep, make sure they're not gonna be punished for any too much aggression here in this mid lane. Want to keep Slim nice and healthy, nice and farmed up. So making sure that both teams actually seem to engage pretty heavily with the warding, which I always like to see. No matter what division it is, always important to have your vision.
Always important, of course, and that's a really good thing that Fenix does. Fenix does ward very well in the solo lane, so I expect that he is probably doing the exact same thing in the dual lane, which is very nice for Perspective Duck, who I don't know what exactly their main support ward's like, but probably might be a little bit of a day and night difference for the two of them. HeavyWarcrier is 3v1ing right now.
and he's doing it to complete success. They're just letting him do it, but hold on, is the fourth one going to do it? No, no. Misses the unstable vortex, and they just give up. They're like, all right, I guess he's here now. They're just accepting him as another passive jungle camp that he's just going to be roaming around your own jungle. HeavyWarcrier is now the new Harpy. Gonna just go in to bully some more. This poor baby is just getting brutalized by this gigantic burly man.
Yeah, and that baby can become big, but we haven't seen it be very effective as of yet. So Colossal Fury might be able to be much more effective in these team fights, as you were saying earlier. But also, I wanted to talk a little bit about two items that I see on Oathkeepers. But, ooh, okay, well, actually, I'm going to delay on that. We got a big ultimate.
He's blind. He can't see. He's going right in, though. He's going to find it there. Perspective Duck going to find a kill onto the Blizzard. Nicely done. Adora now the next one on the menu. Beads expended already. Horus going to try to make something happen. Coming on in to provide some support for their jungle. Fenix going to retreat on back with Akamaru in tow. Perspective Duck having the Bloodforge Shield going to provide a little bit more health for themselves in this next engagement. The Magi's Blessing Bubble going to be popped there by the Rolling Thunder. Stun onto Hobble, going to delay his ability to enter in the fight. And that's going to allow for a lot of poke there on the Dracull. Coming on into from the side, we do see Slim the Rebel here. Does indeed have the ult in tow. Could provide some decent damage. Going to crash down in there onto Adora. And the engagement has been a great target switch. But crashing wave on out could provide the amount of space he needs, but not quite enough. Slim the Rebel going to find the kill on Adora. Akamaru falling up with a nice double tap there on the Dracull. And it's a slaughter here in the dual lane for the Oathkeepers.
If they go for Gold Fury here, that would be a humongous call. I mean, you have three players that are all very low on the side of Oathkeepers. Slim the Rebel is still looking for a 1v1 against Blizzard, but it looks like HeavyWarcrier really wants to pull this Gold Fury. Perspective Duck is actually doing the shield camp right now, and bringing it down he is, but also very little health. One Giannis Unstable Vortex could get the kill here. Soulzc, a lot of pressure on him, as well as Blizzard here with still level 12. This is very risky.
Looking to try to maybe bait in for another kill. Souls is playing wisely very far back. You don't have the ultimate through space and time's not available to get any big snipe kills. So I think everyone's going to opt to drop this Gold Fury. It seemed to be more of a bait for another kill onto maybe the low health Giannis. Not going to find it. Beau going to take this opportunity though to farm a little bit back up, get some proxying going here, get themselves back up into a suitable position, leveling up to 13 to match their opposition.
Yeah, good job by Beau there, taking the opportunity, probably telling his team, don't dedicate yourselves to that fight. Don't go in too far. Because now he actually is equal leveling, level 13, along with HeavyWarcrier, who had a steady 2 to 3 level lead throughout the entirety of the early game. So I was going to bring back to the point on which we were talking about items as well. Sadly, iNooblet just switched it over, but they both Oathkeepers have two items of the exact same. That's Pathetic Cloak. They have two Pathetic Cloaks. One is currently on Hercules, as well as one is on Athena. On the opposing side, Sanctified, we have no Pathetic Cloaks whatsoever. I think that's a mistake. I think Pathetic Cloak is extremely strong in team fights.
It is.
And so, and once again, we also don't see a single Gauntlet of Thebes, right? This is just a game without Gauntlet of Thebes, even though it's still very meta in current ranked sets, as well as in some of our godlike division games. So I'm surprised not to see either one of those items going on to Sanctified.
I don't think you can point to that last engagement as a kind of a proving point as to why you need to have some of those items onto your support, especially because Horus gonna grinded down and poked out so freaking quickly, man. A couple basics from Protective Duck, and I think one ability dropped on him, and he was already down to like a quarter HP. And that's just what is gonna happen when you don't have enough procs. But hold on, blind now, running around the forest. That's a duck that doesn't know where to go. It's a little lost one. Gonna try to get the Defenders of Olympus on him to deny some damage, but not soon enough. Blizzard gonna find that kill. Perspective Duck gonna fall. A second kill on the X-Ball. Not the thing you might want to see. Perspective Duck just getting a bit too called out.
Yeah, Duck becomes a Duckling, and here we speak about this Horus again. Has to use Shell to get out of this situation. Does not have Heroism yet. That's not what that was. That indeed was his active. But Akamaru will get a trade kill in the dual lane right there. Blizzard gonna have to go ahead and fall, which is probably not what you want when you're Sanctified. You would rather get out of that HeavyWarcrier in a 3v1 situation. Ready to do it as well. Horus, half health.
He feels comfortable in this position, man. He really can zone them all out quite well. 4 levels ahead of the Horus, 2 levels ahead of the Giannis. And nice damage that you're seeing that poke. Wow, that really chunked him. Dracull just gets a bite taken out of there by the Baba Yaga.
Yeah, not enough protections, right? We keep talking about this. I'm not going to harp on it too much longer. HeavyWarcrier.
I will.
Yeah, you can. HeavyWarcrier is single.
Should have gotten more protections, Dracull.
We'll DM him after this.
Gold Theory now going to be looked at as a cost. This is I hope the prices of your sins weigh on you. No. It's understandable. I get that he's trying to deny the CC, but it really hasn't come to pass as that big of an issue. I think like the bubbles just gets popped by like something like Rolling Thunder, which doesn't even have that much value as CC anyway. It's a very short mez. It's oftentimes more so used as a bit of a tiny interruption rather than a big engagement CC. So I worry that that really is going to come back to bite him, because you just see that if you look at HeavyWarcrier, who's not even a Guardian, able to really just tank for as long as needed. But hold on, to the skies, gonna maybe drop into this Pyromancer. Big engagement. Sanctified actually gonna steal that away. And this could open up a nice team fight for them. Hopwad dealing decent damage, but not quite enough. Home Sweet Home could provide what they need here for Oathkeepers to get back into this fight. Anvil of Dawn will fall down. Defenders of Olympus as well. HeavyWarcrier gonna find the kill on Adora, but Big Baby is here, and Big Baby's angry from all the crap they've taken during the solo lane phase. Gonna find the kill there on Akamaru. Quite low as well as HeavyWarcrier, but Mitigate Wounds gonna provide a decent amount of healing back. Gonna try to taunt him back on into the tower. Beau gonna take a couple tower shots for their trouble. And you see the home there just trying some moral support. It's going to end up being a big loss there for Oathkeepers. Excellent to the skies there from Dracull, saying, hey, shut up. I don't need a Magi to do this, buddy. Gonna fall on in, grab the objective for themselves, and some nice kills.
Really good kills. I had no question about the fact that Oathkeepers probably was going to secure that, right? That was theirs, 100%. But they collapsed very well. Sanctified collapsed very well onto that all together. That was a great team fight from them. Obviously, Home Sweet Home coming out caused a lot of chaos for them, but they were able to stay, focused and find the right targets throughout the entire fight. So if Sanctified can keep doing that and keep calling the right targets, then they will have a better opportunity in these team fights to get kills and possibly objectives and towers as this game goes on.
Very true. And this is what I was talking about during the picks and bans phase. This is what this team comp allows you. You don't necessarily need to be ahead. You just need to play smart. And that was very interesting use there to let them think they're safe. Let them think, wow, big chunk they're taking us on the Rebel. Let them think that they have this Pyromancer in their pocket. We all just come down 4 strong, just knock that down, knock you down like a stack of dominoes. Excellent job there using those wily ults to your advantage, and in combination with the Giannis, I can imagine if these mobility tricks continue up at the pace they have just now, it could be big trouble for Oathkeepers despite on paper being in the lead. Actually, in fact, Sanctified now on paper in the lead, on at least, very least in gold. Levels differences also falling to them. 2 levels ahead of this Vamana. The farm has really been paying off for Beau.
Yeah, he really, I saw iNooblet hover over his mouse. Very nice of him here to focus that on it for us. But HeavyWarcrier is going to feel that 2-level difference possibly now, because Athena was forced to ultimate over to him. And as you were calling him, Beau, what do you call him? Beau?
Beau, right? I messed it up. I'm so
okay.
It's
well,
Beau, though.
Beau or Beau. My first dog's name was actually Beau, funny enough.
Nice
Beauregard. Yeah, there's some Phoenix lore. I don't know what the other Phoenix's first dog's name was, but my first dog's. There you go.
I'm sure it was a better one.
Probably something much better than that. I mean, mine was Beauregard, Buford, Branford, Buford, Kyle. Very complicated.
Oh no, I meant yours is better. That's actually
Oh,
sick.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I know a little
Beauregard?
Beauregard.
Damn, that's
Sounds
awesome,
like
dude.
French, right? Sounds like a
Very, very fancy, man. Sounds like a new skin that they'd put on to one of these gods for one of those like monocle skins. But turning back to the game, here,
Yeah.
rather than pet names, it seems that Sanctified really has done a great job turning this on its head in a very sneaky way. One fight really was all they needed to secure it back into their favor, and Akamaru doesn't really want to challenge, as you can see.
No.
Where before you might have seen Akamaru scrapping for days, Beau, I'm messing this up in my head. Beau is just a presence enough to scare off the jungler, and it seems that they've been prioritizing Oathkeepers ganks a bit too much over a farm, and Sanctified to make them paid for it.
Yeah, it's really starting to pay for it actually, because the golden XP are very minimal at this point, which it really feels like it should not be like that much. But we should see this gold here, because this is the opportunity. Fenix finding himself in a very awkward position with a Horus and a Giannis beating him down, but instead will not get anything, missing the taunts, sadly. Would have gotten the bubble there, which would have been very nice for him. And this next team fight coming up, it's a full 50 seconds for that Magi's Blessing to come back up onto someone who has it. Protective Duck and Blizzard. This is a neck-to-neck fight right now for these two, I was about to say. I mean, this is very close between the two of them, and it could go either way as of right now, and it may go a certain way right now as beads. No, or dash being used, right? Did you have to use beads there?
No, that was definitely the dash, and that's something that's
Okay.
going to be really annoying to deal with, because the engagements that are going to be coming here from Oathkeepers are very telegraphed. Going to burst that bubble real quick. Nicely done there from Fenix. It's going to be very telegraphed, and you're just going to be able to instantly gain so much distance away from them with that X-Ball 3. So it's really easy for Blizzard to just get out of any dangerous situation, but now put in a dangerous situation himself. Dracull going to be burst down here, and no one's really engaging from Sanctified. They're just watching it happen. Going to be put down with the quickness. Protective Duck going to get that kill. Now seeing the next one on the menu. Home Sweet Home going to fall into Blizzard. Not feeling very cozy about that. Going to find that distance, but it's not quite enough. The fireballs are landing right on his head top. He's going to be burned down potentially. Double tap will not quite find its mark, but until Akamaru gets in for the double kill. Excellent job there chasing for that knight to the finish. But hold on a second. Crashing Wave going to find 3. Adora. Solid damage on Akamaru. Going to get that one as well. Big Baby all grouped up. This could be a potential issue here for Fenix. They have to dash on out. Slim looking to be the next one on the menu. Fenix, don't get too close to him, buddy. He's already a lost cause. Nice kill there for Beau, but he's the only one left standing. Can he make it happen? A second kill for him. Thorn's going to come out, but you might imagine it's a bit too late. Driving Strike going to find him into a wall. Perspective Duck going to get a double kill of his own. It was a massacre there. Jesus. 4 dead on the side of Sanctified and 3 on the side of Oathkeepers.
Yeah, Protective Duck did very well there. Did you see how the split happened right there at the end of the fight? You had I believe the Hubwa was in the back with the Vamana, and then...
It was.
Yeah, and then the Hubwa split off by himself. And so what they did was the Perspective Duck, and I believe it was Slim the Rebel, or sorry, yeah, so I think it was Slim the Rebel, just turned and said, okay, we're going to go and kill you. But this is a big gold Fury right here. Primal Fury will be stolen by Sanctified.
Oh my gosh!
Soulzc, very well done by him.
The Oathkeepers keeps trying to make too much happen, man, and they're really paying the price for it. Gold Lead will still fall to them, but that's gotta feel bad. That's now 2 objectives that have been falling again. Look at how spiky that thing is, man. That thing's crazy. You got mountain peaks, you got valleys, because Sanctified's really been doing a great job of reversing any pressure that Oathkeepers, as soon as they start to pull a bit ahead, Sanctified yanks it right back away from them. And they're gonna try their luck again. Don't go for that Pyromancer, man. Haven't you learned your lesson?
I think what they need to start doing, honestly, for Oathkeepers, just get a kill or get a pick before doing these objectives, and you will have a much better opportunity. HeavyWarcrier is still very tanky, though. Big 2-man taunt coming out from Fenix here.
The stun I don't think quite found its mark, but the double tap at the very least will. Adora very low. Dracull as well. And again, these lack of protections are going to be an issue. But going to fall instead onto Adora, realizing that's the damaging threat. Excellent job there from Akamaru. Good target selection. Going to work out well for them. At the very least, they had a chance to get Dracull. Going to slip out of their fingers, but that's okay. That chicken can live to see another day. We'll cut off its head later. And at least going to decapitate the Pyromancer right now. Get a bomb in your pocket is Fenix. That's a solid feeling for Oathkeepers to finally get something go their way. The fight's continuing over here. Going to take to the skies is Dracull. HeavyWarcrier realizing I maybe can't take as much as I thought I could before, but at the very least, Perspective Duck going to try to provide some sort of distraction. Dart might find the back of HeavyWarcrier, not quite enough. Shotgun darts coming out here. Blaze Retribution. Excellent dash there right into Dracull. Risky maneuver. Going to pay off. Perspective Duck going to get the kill. Akamaru trying to just ward off any aggression here. Oathkeeper's doing a great job taking turns, peeling for everyone who's low health. This time it's Fenix's turn. Through space and time. Going to find him, though. Unstable Vortex going to find Slim. Everyone's looking low at the moment. Retreating on back. Soulzc, though, re-engaged on by Akamaru. Akamaru quite low. The portal's already been expended, but gonna be able to get out for a little more space. Beau, in the meanwhile, taking us from the Rebel, and it's looking like a feast for the baby. Fenix applesauce eaten up, double kill. Akamaru finally finds the kill on his souls, and it's a bloodbath with everyone separated, no one the wiser as to what to do next. Beau looping around the back, Akamaru with a blood forge shield at the very least, but it could be in some trouble. HeavyWarcrier here to support. Big baseball ricocheting around. Excellent there. Akamaru gonna find the double as well.
Really well played there by Akamaru. Once again, you have a very split fight. We were talking about this. I was just talking about this in left lane. What happened with the entirety of Sanctified? It felt like they were just in different locations of that fight, and that's exactly what happened there. That Xbalanque was trying to start a 1v1 against Akamaru as the Vamana was diving in T2 as Horus was trying to get to his entire team. So it's like one of these types of things where you guys want to get together and go ahead and start taking these big fights, because I think as a unit, Adora and I mean Dracull, these are big ults. They have through space and time is a humongous ultimate, and if you can get a through space and time directly to I don't know, Akamaru possibly, or probably not HeavyWarcrier. You probably don't even want to touch HeavyWarcrier. That guy is 4v1ing, and it's 25 minutes into this game. That's something that he was doing at 5 minutes into this game, and is still doing. So we probably don't even want to touch him at this point. Honestly, I'm just gonna say he's very scary, but just like he's very tanky as well. That's how Hercules is.
I'm not sure who benefits out, because you're right. This has been very segmented fighting, and that's partly owed to one, what was amazing peel there. I love the little, it was like a WWE tag match where Oathkeepers kept on saying, okay, now you're in, buddy. Help me out here, because they were all getting low and having to retreat on back from the aggression that Sanctified was just continuing on. Had to make sure that they were provided with at least some damage. Hold on, though. Beau gonna find some damage right on himself. Not the big baby on out of this, but gonna be able to umbrella dash on out. Fenix not gonna be able to find the taunt in time to negate that as an option. Beau gonna find out the hard way that you really can't engage on Akamaru anymore. He's got some more confidence underneath his belt. But I'm just not sure who wins out, because yes, Vamana's great when people are lumped up, but Vamana can do pretty solid damage on his own. Adora can certainly solo someone if you're close enough range, and I feel like in general, Oathkeeper's comp is more meant to have those grander CC chains that are more that are going to be started off by Fenix. So I think generally splitting them up might not be the worst idea for Sanctified, but hold on, going to be split in half there is Dracull already with the quickness. We've seen that already happen before, where just a little bit caught out of position is this Horus, and like you said, the protections just aren't quite as substantial as their other counterparts on the support and the solo side. So just going to be grinded down to powder. Big baby going to come out here, but might not even have enough health to survive this one. Everyone focused on him with no help coming on. The home sweet home going to find the fireballs. Fenix going to find the kill. Through space and time. Wow, the long range going to grind through that house. That thing's been demolished.
That was a really good ultimate from Giannis. I did not even see it because we had moved off the screen, but it was right off the right-hand side of your screen. It just landed right on Baba Yaga, right when coming out of a home sweet home, and that home is now alone, sitting right there, kind of trying to walk possibly, but you know, it's going to be there for moral support for the rest of Oathkeepers, as they have to try to find an objective here at this point, because it's getting 27 minutes into this game. You still have a little bit of a lead, very little bit of a lead. You want to get some objectives here. You want to start doing stuff, and HeavyWarcrier is still 3v1ing the entirety of the enemy team, it feels like, because he's very tanky and level 20 and has full protections, a prosthetic cloak. And I want to point back to our level 16 Dracull, who is currently 0-5. That build is not functioning for what they want on that team, but Fenix doing a good good taunts right there to force beads out from Adora, but Adora will respond here with a big crashing wave.
Crashing wave, just instantly gonna delete Akamaru before he can take to the skies there. Had some plans, but they're gonna be negated as an option. Dracull still has that bubble, it must be said. Taunt gonna come in, find two, but no follow-up there. Fenix gonna find themselves in a world of hurt. Following up there is Blizzard, another kill in the X-Ball's pocket. HeavyWarcrier on the retreat. Perspective Duck gonna come from the back, could potentially provide a decent engage to assist their solo, but remaining a decent amount of health. Driving strike on in. The baseball's gonna find Adora for revenge, and still maintaining a decent amount of health. That vortex is gonna be a bit of an issue though. Gonna have to walk around it. Mitigate wounds coming through now, so you're gonna have at least a bit more health, but they're still following up. Blizzard really is chasing for that kill. Meanwhile, Perspective Duck, they're going to have to switch their attention, realizing that Hercules is a lost cause. Looping around the backside, the home is no longer alone. Beau going to have to amble their way on out. The baby's not going to find any more applesauce.
Man, Fenix in the applesauce, of course. I mean, getting smacked down on the ground like that makes you for sure. It's either like grapes. You know how you make wine and stuff like that? Well, thorns being used here. And Big Baby coming out. Perspective Duck is the target. Using beads and Aegis is Perspective Duck. Will get smashed down, but killed by Blizzard instead. A good basic attack from the wonderful Night Owl himself, Xbalanque. they need to get out of here at this point, reset, and go for Fire Giant. That's what I think Sanctified needs to do. Half health on to Beau as well as Dracull. If you guys can retreat here. Instead, it might be a pull here from Oathkeepers if they feel, pride enough, but they have not had very good luck with objectives this game, have they? So I don't know if that's the best idea.
Yeah, I'm just really worried about the engages that could possibly come on to them from the members of Sanctified. You don't have the ult yet from Soulzc, that's good at the very least, but you do have To the Skies from Dracull, and that alone has been enough to provide some trouble. Fenix, once again, in the front line, just waiting to provide... I just saw the Spirit Probe proc is going to be there, and it's going to be really useful there to negate a lot of damage there, but hold on, not going to get any damage there is Dracull. Always the first to fall, never a bridesmaid, or always a bridesmaid, never a bride, and always the first to be... Actually, I guess first to be picked for this one. You're the number 1 for our hit list, and it's going to be dropped already. Frontline going to be noticeably weaker for that reason. HeavyWarcrier going to be going on in saying, hey, I don't got a horse to worry about at the very least, but going to have to maybe worry about those basics from the Bola slinging X-Ball. Beau going to find a kill on Akumaru in return. Jungle for support. You're feeling pretty bad about that, and if you're Oathkeepers and realizing they can have to retreat on out, they're looking blind at the moment. Not going to quite find this through space and time, though. I love that attempt. Home sweet home, going to try to find at least some more damage while they're retreating, but the big baby, they're all lumped up. Realizing that crushing wave, going to find one. Slim the Rebels not going to be in this fight no longer. HeavyWarcrier just trying to do what they can to peel away. Fenix as well in quite a bit of trouble, but the basics from Perspective Duck are always finding their mark and always good. Wow, a lot of damage there on 2. Soulzc going to be found the driving strike. HeavyWarcrier going to go back in for the re-engage. Beau now realizing the luck is turned. Could be in some trouble. Defender of Olympus, you have to imagine he's going to try to juke on out with the umbrella. Taunt not going to find him quickly enough. He's probably going to be able to get out, but no, not quite. This could be the re-engage. Any Thorns is going to be activated. Perspective Duck is grinding themselves down as they shoot him, though. Got to be careful. HeavyWarcrier going to be giving credit for that kill. It's just been non-stop, high-octane action. I am out of breath. Fenix, what happened?
Oh my goodness. It was an overextension coming from Sanctified, and it looks like it might still be a little bit of an overextension because Adora finds himself in an even rougher position, but will not be pulled back thanks to the rocket. But big overextension from Sanctified. I mean, they're behind right now. They're not doing as well. And there goes Bubble again, speaking of the Bubble. Man, that poor thing is on a 70-second.
Yeah, that's wise, though. They should be popping that anytime they can. It allows them to engage in these big team fights. Look at HeavyWarcrier, man. He's just going to knock down the foundations of your tower real quick. Tier 1, nice and easy, secured for Oathkeepers. They have been overextending, man. It's upsetting.
Yes.
Their comp... They're having great individual plays, I feel like, but they're not working cohesively as a team. And I'm especially disappointed, honestly, in the horse. The horse keeps getting caught out, and it's just really sloppy positioning there that's happening. In combination with the lack of prots in the build, is just going to get you grinded to a fine powder every single time. You see that Fenix takes advantage the moment that horse takes a clawed foot out of line, taunted back in and dropped down.
Secure it.
They are indeed going to be able to secure this one, it seems. Oathkeepers finally get an objective to their name, and it's the one that matters. But hold on, quite low, HeavyWarcrier. Their front line might be in some trouble. Big Baby in the back line. Adora trying to find the kill on a Slim Rebel. And Blizzard going to find one to Fenix. Despite having every advantage that seemed they could have, Oathkeepers actually might be on the losing end of this fight. Have to do a full retreat. Big wall. They're going to deny them a decent amount of movement. HeavyWarcrier is the target. Does not necessarily have enough peel by himself to get out of this one alive. 4 members of Sanctified going to try to follow him underneath tier 2. Crushing wave will be sidestepped, but not enough. Driving strike out. Decent healing provided, and now the team of Oathkeepers is here to provide the support. Could this have been another overextension? Oh, not quite. They're going to be able to get out with their lives at the very least, but dang. That was close. How is he alive?
HeavyWarcrier with the big the wounds. It healed. All of them did. He turned around and healed for like 25% of his health is what it felt like. And so any kind of damage, he got hit by Crashing Wave, I believe, as well.
He did?
Yeah, I think he did. I know, it didn't even seem like he did. And there's almost a full penetration besides a funny build by the Hubwa, by the way. Protector of the Jungler on Hubwa is a very interesting item. It gives you, of course, the power and the protections. That's really cool. But the one thing it gives you is attack speed.
A lot of attack speed.
It gives you a lot of attack speed. And it's really good on gods like Thanatos or gods like Bakasura, Mercury, your basic attack based junglers. I don't really see it being as good at Hubwa. You probably want your Water Spout and all the other abilities that Hubwa has that are very big damaging abilities to do a little bit of healing to you would be nice, possibly. So there's your example right there with Boomba's Dagger. Of course, that will evolve into Boomba's Hammer or Boomba's Spear, which both are much more effective on a Hebo. I also want to say about that fight and that Fire Giant, really well done there by Oathkeepers to block out and create room to get that Fire Giant. I was much more secure in what happened there, and Beau getting plugs here but not getting pushed. So very lucky for them. This is a good time for Oathkeepers to go and start taking some towers here, and possibly all 3 if they want to.
Yeah, it must be said. It's not just any FG that just got too. It's EFG. This late in the game, it's going to be providing a decent boon to their damage and sustain. Trying to defend this tier 2, though. It seems the Sanctified is going to try to rely on them making a bit of an overextension. Once again, leading the charge, as always, HeavyWarcrier. Like we said, getting to be able to heal up on those wounds. But hold on, Fenix seems like he's now tanking. Could be in some trouble. Already it dropped to a bit around a quarter health. Going to be blinded up. And Fenix seems to be left behind, though, because Big Baby is now targeting the backline. Adora actually finds HeavyWarcrier, who's left behind, unfortunately, by the Oathkeepers. The front line has become the back line, has become the dead line. Oathkeepers going to try to make a full retreat. This has been a complete failure of a siege onto the tier 2. Dracull going to find one, as well as HeavyWarcrier. Slim and Fenix will join him. But it seems they're trying to make something happen. The back line is Akamaru, but not going to be paid back in turn for that. Perspective Duck going to find 1 kill on a Dracull. Going to try to at least ward off some defense of this tier 2 tower, but you can't imagine it's going to last for long. Perspective Duck going to be wrapped on the back end there by the Vamana. Those shotgun bolts are not going to be enough for you. Soulzc going to pick up the double. Deicide there for Sanctified. Moving right down mid lane. Going to be able to pick up some decent objectives here. Wait, hold on a second. 30 seconds down? They might go for game here.
They might, yeah. Beau can tank it all, I think. He should be able to, and this is a lot of damage coming from Blizzard and Soul. This could be the end of the game as long as they can get it. 10 seconds until HeavyWarcrier is back up. If this does not go their way, though, they will not be able to win this game because they will go just the opposite way. 1 down on this team as of right now. They are still going 1 second until HeavyWarcrier is back up. And he will miss the driving strike.
Are you serious? Dead!
Oh, here comes Crushing Wave.
Oh, he's going in. You gotta get him, HeavyWarcrier. Do something.
No.
Do something. The waves are coming through. The water cannon's gonna find it. HeavyWarcrier breathed a sigh of relief, only for a gasp of horror to follow. And it's going to be a victory in the hands of Sanctified. We'll see you at the desk.
I could get drunk off the lights of a city. Late night phone calls just to say you miss me, but you don't. No, you don't. Drop my phone now, that shit's broken. 2 a.m. and I'm lost in Brooklyn, missing home. I know you don't. When we were on, I'd always thought we would make it, but now you're gone. Baby, you're a ghost. I'm calling.
Hello, everyone. If you just watched that nail biter of a game 1 the same way I did, you just saw Sanctified. What seemed to be all hope being lost there on that last Titan push. Adora, through him, was able to finally find the last dregs of damage they needed to drown out the Titan. To the horror of HeavyWarcrier, could do nothing but watch. Phoenix, what happened?
Everything happened right there at the end of the fight. At the end of the game, it felt like, especially because I don't know if it was an overextension on the side of Oathkeepers. Like, it felt like it might have almost been, because they had not been doing that the entire game. They had been grouped up as an entire ball. But because of Anvil of Dawn, you saw when it came out, 3 people were dead already. And so that means that he was not there to take that fight with the rest of the team. Anvil of Dawn and the Wall had been, and throughout the entire game, as well as HeavyWarcrier on the Hercules, have been like the creator of kills, the ones that brought people together to get kills, both combining for a total of 15 kills, as you can see on your screen as of right now. I want to bring your attention to something else real quick, which is HeavyWarcrier has 2 wards. Congratulations, HeavyWarcrier. 2 wards.
Nice.
Good for you. But Beau has 0 wards.
Uh-oh. Naughty list.
Naughty list right there. Big goose egg for you, Beau. Sorry to say. Nooblet brought to our attention that, Sanctified had no anti-healing whatsoever. That's why the Hercules was surviving for so long, and probably the reason of why Slim the Rebel probably was lasting so long as well, because you kind of get a lot of passive healing, a lot of ability healing and stuff like that when you're Baba Yaga, of course. And when you're HeavyWarcrier, you slam the ground with your big old stick or bat in that situation, and you heal up for almost 30% of your health that you lost in the last 5 seconds or 6 seconds. It's ridiculous. And so you need to have anti-healing. I'm very surprised that Sanctified was able to come back and just win this game like they did, because it was looking horrible for them up and until the last 2-ish fights. Even the second to last fight, it was just not going their way. And so all it was 60-second cooldown timers for the entirety of Oathkeepers. You can't do that. You can't all die and have no chance to defend your Titan. And that's exactly what happened. They all died, and 60 seconds down for everyone, you're going to lose your Titan.
Tisk goes that game, unfortunately. I mean, it's like you're saying, they really seem to have, Oathkeepers seem to have Sanctified's number the entire time. And it must be noted, that push that they won the game off of Sanctified was an EFG push from the opposite team. They managed to completely reverse that somehow. You might imagine that, okay, we shouldn't even be trying to defend a tier 2. It's ludicrous when they have EFG, but they did, and they managed to make a staunch defense that turned into a complete rout of the enemy and turned into a complete W for them. I'm just not sure where they went wrong. HeavyWarcrier led the charge. I will say, what I did notice that was an issue was Fenix ended up getting the switch of the tower tanking onto them, and Fenix took a lot of poke from both the tower and the enemy opposition. HeavyWarcrier has definitely that sustainability that you want to see as the front liner, so I think maybe that switch up could have been the reason why they took a bit too much early poke and had to call that retreat in the first place. And once that happened, Hobblup's right in the water scrolls, you know that Horus can just dash on in, knock you up. They're blinded, disoriented, stumbling into walls. They don't know what to do. And they were all just slowly picked off one by one. It's unfortunate because everyone was popping off on all cylinders. Like, every player was having individually fantastic moments in this game. Fenix had some amazing taunts. Akamaru with some great Anvil of Dawn's. Perspective Duck doing massive damage to some basics. Able to really do some great peel just with the power of that bow alone.
Most of the
Slim
game.
the Rebel had some good disruption too. I'm sorry, what were you saying? Go on ahead.
40k, and he had the most in the game. Perspective Duck did.
Yes, man.
You're not lying. Yeah, it was him. He had 7k more than the opposing ADC Blizzard. The only other thing I want to bring this back to is man, it was you were correct. That last fight was such a split fight. It was so everywhere and so not coordinated whatsoever. But HeavyWarcrier on that Hercules, if they can do that again, what they need to do is drop back on the Vamana, okay? The 7 and 6 Beau Vamana. Okay, because HeavyWarcrier had Sundering Spear, the exploding one, the blast, okay?
Okay.
But guess what he was doing the entire time? The entire game.
Holding the front line.
Yes, he was in the front line. Where's the Vamana?
Yep.
And the opposing front line, right? So they're
That's
nowhere
true.
near each other. And in this game especially, they were so split in the fights, as we were talking about, that he was using those Sundering Spears on like Blizzard, which is cool.
That's
I
a
guess.
fair point. That's a really fair point. Yeah, you're right, because you saw Beau for that entire engagement dropped back into the back of it, was just taking out chunks of Slim the Rebel's health as well as Perspective Duck, whereas HeavyWarcrier was the one left behind, in fact, and was taken out by, I believe, Soulzc and Adora, left behind by the rest of the team because, unfortunately, didn't get the memo that they needed to retreat. You're absolutely correct. Beau, with the additional mobility that Vamana provided, was able to just drop into the back line. At that point, they were too distracted, Fenix and HeavyWarcrier, to peel for the rest of their team, and caused massive damage off that ultimate. It's exactly what we said, too. Got bullied out in the laning phase, but really made the value come through in the big team fights.
Yeah, I am super excited for game number 2 and to see what they can do here, because there might be some bans going both ways, especially maybe these two soul laners. I'm looking at those two.
Yeah, this by no means was a bad game on either end. Just unfortunately a couple misplays that can spell your defeat. When these players are this good, you can make a mile out of an inch. And we're going to see if they can do that again in game 2. We'll see you in a moment for the picks and bans.
Drink to cope, it's an issue, okay. New Year's Day, so now it's a new me. Tell me why I'm so fucking lonely. I don't know why you won't love me the same. Drive into the night, I miss you sleeping. Where did you go? As soft as you're breathing, you left me alone. And I miss the late nights. So where did you go? 'Cause you were my safe ride. Now I drive alone. I miss you sleeping. As soft as you're breathing, you left me alone. I miss the late nights. 'Cause you were my safe ride. Now I drive alone. I miss you sleeping. Where did you go? As soft as you're breathing, you left me alone. And I miss the late nights. So where did you go? 'Cause you were my safe ride. smoked before I met you. Now I chain smoke the way I like to kiss you. Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back to the memories that we once had, yeah. Tell me how this so easily falls apart. Cause damn, you still fucking have my heart. And all I have is another of your cigarettes lit, but not a single fuck left to give. I could explode, I feel like gasoline when you're mad at me. Lit a match in the wind, so I'm asking please. I try to cope, go through the motions, no, I got a noose around my throat. Fuck, I love you, but I know that I should let you go. Situations got me pressed and I'm on overload. I'm on overload, so another of your cigarettes out. Fuck, I always feel so burned out. I never smoked before I met you. Now I chain smoke the way I like to kiss you. Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back to the memories that we once had, yeah. Tell me how this so easily.
Hello, welcome back after the wait. Hope it wasn't too long. We're back here, week 6 Immortal Division, game 2, same sides, Oathkeepers on the side of Order, trying to get back after a cheeky loss they took there from Sanctified. I'm Deelo, joined once again here by Fenix. Fenix, just looking at this picks and bans, what are we thinking, man? What are the differences we're looking to see, if any, from either side?
We're thinking someone's back, baby. Cosmic Vibes is on the team Oathkeepers right there. Phoenix has been subbed out. I need to leave right now. No, I'm joking. Cosmic Vibes, the regular support for Oathkeepers. Great guy. I do know Cosmic Vibes as well, so just funny enough that I know most of this team pretty personally, I would say, at least. Cosmic Vibes and I match each other up in ranked sometimes, stuff like that. He's a mid-main, funny enough. But when
Tell me his whole social security number right now.
Yes, okay, so I can try to give you at least a little bit of it, but I don't know. I have to try to decipher the rest of it because it's in Morse code. My bad. Slim the Rebel selected Cosmic Vibes, not to be mid lane, but instead to be support, because Cosmic Vibes is just a good team player. That's what he is. He plays with a lot of different kinds of teams. Yeah, support. And then if you're good at support, if you're a good vibe team guy, support's a great role for you.
Absolutely. And what's important about someone who's a team player and someone who's a support especially is recognizing what value your life has. Sometimes I feel like supports can oftentimes think that their life is as valuable as the carries, whereas a good team player, a good support is going to make sure that they understand if I lose my life here and sacrifice for the rest of the team to maybe get a big objective, to get even further kills, then that's a good support in my book. So hopefully you're going to see Cosmic Vibes making some nice big plays there on the support. Not like Phoenix did a poor job either, so potentially here just going to maybe see the same level of play here would be honestly fine, because like we said, there's not much in the formula from Oathkeepers that needs to change for them to pull up with the dub. But something that is going to have to change is the Hercules. Going to be moved on to the Guan Yu. We're seeing some pretty nice target banning here from both sides.
Yeah, as I said last game, right at the end there, I said I want to see both cylinders be focused out. The Mono Hercules just gone immediately. But obviously just like that, bang. Hobwa also being banned, which is also a great ban. You know, just Hobwa's just very strong right now. It does leave open a lot of different types of junglers, as well as of course other types of supports and mages, including that of a Merlin, who is a very dangerous mid laner. You have to have a pretty big answer here for a Merlin. Probably not a Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga does not do too well into Merlin. You probably want someone like maybe like a Scylla, someone with a little more mobility, or someone who can hold their ground and just kind of burst a Merlin down, because Merlin with his little flicker, even though it's so small and not very far, it does a lot for team fights when you're getting caught out.
Absolutely can provide a decent amount of space between you. It can provide those inches, the difference between life and death potentially. It seems that we're really going with here the fact that every time we're picking for members of Oathkeepers, it's that we're looking for HeavyWarcrier's pick first. He gets to eat first. It's always the warrior that's getting locked in, and because of that, the cost will be that Prospective Duck is going to lose their most comfortable pick. The Ishtar will actually not be banned out, but instead picked out here by Sanctified, going to make sure they use that for themselves. Sir Nuno's going to be locked in as the alternative, and by no means is that a bad pickup at all. Sir Nuno's has been incredibly powerful in the Season of Hope. Terra as well. You really need to make sure you're buying a lot of anti-heal right now if you are on Sanctified.
This is a solo pick right now. That, in my opinion, this is it. This is 3 gods picked. It's a large Godfather god. We all yes, do it. I
Wow.
called it. Yeah, this
You
is
really
perfect.
did, man. That was instant. The chair 2 is going to have his
Yeah.
big boy chair 2 pants on. Odin going to be locked in. And this is really rough because not only does it provide a massive amount of anti-heal, but also you can't get out of that. Not easily at the very least. You're going to have to basic it down or provide the Phantom Shell in order to ensure your escape because all these people do not have leaps.
None of them do. And a Terra, it's a great pick in a Terra. I mean, it's not you can have a horse in a cage, right? That's what Odin does to Guan Yu. It's like a what's it called? The little horses on a rodeo, the circle ones.
Merry-go-round?
That's the one. Thank you,
Oh,
merry-go-round.
dear God.
It's like a merry-go-round, but it's Guan Yu
True.
on a horse doing cavalry charge. I love that pick, and that's why I was trying to guess it. But it would have been banned here immediately by Oathkeepers, so that's a great position to pick it in because if you would have delayed it, you would have never had it. You probably want to get a good support for that Odin as well because Odin cannot do this game by himself. So I would expect either a Kepri would be a good pick here for them because their comp right now, by the way, very divey, very push forward. While Oathkeepers is very back foot, let's use the Terror Ultimate and then turn this fight back around, possibly type of fight.
True.
So I would like to see something that will maybe bring some survivability. Sylvanas, Geb possibly is another good pick there. But we might see a jungler here instead. I don't know. It could be anything.
I would certainly, a Geb I would not mind at all. I always like to see a good Geb gameplay because Geb is a bit harder to counter build unless you want to go. I feel like people are too afraid to go into the foray when it comes to these anti-shield items. The Deathbringer upgrade is a solid one, but no one really I see going erosion or anything like that. So it's just kind of, whereas everyone else instantly gets their kind of supporty shtick, which is oftentimes healing, locked out by a tons of anti-heal items. You don't really see that happening with shielding, and also could provide some decent immunity from these CCs that are pretty easy to react to as a Geb. Cavalry charge, ending, stun, instant shield, get out of that stun. Sir Nuno's root, Sir Nuno's poly, all these could be insta-gimped away by the shield, which is really nice. So maybe going to be able to see that. But no, another big beefy support, though, is going to be the Atlas. Provide a bit more support, a bit more grouping up, potentially, for those big bird bomb cage combos.
Yeah, this is such an aggressive pick as well. I mean, Atlas is one of those gods that you put that big circle on the ground, and then another big circle on the ground, and then you taunt everyone in, and then it's wild what Atlas can do in a team fight, especially against this exact comp. The only problem with it is that you're not going to be picking up Terra that often. I can be honest with you about that. But that may not really matter because Terra is still a Terra. All you have to do is press the 4 button and your entire team will sustain for much, much, much longer than she and the rest of the team typically would. Humbats, great pick here. I think that you needed to create some room for your team. That was one of the most important things here. And I think that if we can have Akamaru on a good Humbats play right now, then you'll have a lot more room. I do not like the Baba Yaga pick here. I think we probably want to go for something else, but we're going to go ahead and do it. I guess, Giannis would have been great here, honestly, because your team... Yeah, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. But Fear No Evil, great utility to have on your entire team.
I would have liked to see... I mean, it is a leap, right? Blastoff does count as a leap, so I do believe you're at least going to be able to get out of the Odin cage that way, which is nice. I don't like, though, the fact that Homebots really benefits from some really quick burst off of Fear No Evil. Baba Yaga's damage, still potent, takes a little bit more time to apply. The dot damage applied from Home Sweet Home. So you're gonna have to make sure you're placing those abilities carefully as Baba Yaga. Slim's gonna have to make sure they're really picking up those kills with the quickness. I love the Hunbots pick. Definitely with you on that one. Can provide if everyone's in the cage, just really trying to collapse onto one member of the team, can drop that down inside the cage and essentially make that pandemonium for everyone on both sides and negate that as an option potentially. Make sure that cage engage is not going to be a big factor. Gonna be looking to Akamaru here honestly to provide a decent amount of appeal for that team and hopefully make sure that Odin counter pick does not squelch their flames out before they can even get fired up. So, only one way to find out, though. Will the members of Oathkeepers be able to take this one back after that stinging defeat at the hands of Sanctified? Stick around to find out. We'll be right back with Game 2.
Pull another of your cigarettes never smoked before I met you. Now I chain smoke the way I like to kiss you. Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back to the memories that we once had, yeah. Tell me how this so easily falls apart. Cause damn, you still fucking have my heart. And all I have is another of your cigarettes lit, but not a single fuck left to give. I could explode, I feel like gasoline when you're mad at me. Lit a match in the wind, so I'm asking please. I try to cope, go through the motions, no, I got a noose around my throat. Fuck, I love you, but I know that I should let you go. Situations got me pressed and I'm on overload. I'm on overload, so another of your cigarettes out. Fuck, I always feel so burned out. I never smoked before I met you. Now I chain smoke the way I like to kiss you. Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back.
Welcome on back, everyone. Game 2, Week 6, Smite Draft League, Immortal Division. Oathkeepers on the side of order trying to reclaim their fire after getting it stamped out a little bit there by Sanctified in Game 1. I'm Deelo, once again joined here by Fenix. Fenix, one thing we didn't really get to talk about here is the Naja pick. Naja rounding out this comp here for Sanctified. What are your thoughts on how that fits in? Does it fit in well? Do you think there's some potential for issues there? What do you think Adore is going to be looking for this?
Yeah, in between these two spots, you know, the game and the lobby and the picks and bans, I was thinking maybe an Oathkeepers would have been a better pick here because that would have been the full 1-2 punch type of situation. You know, you have the Odin cage, and then if someone tries to jump out, just press the 4 button and force them back to your lap. But that's not what it is. Actually, a Naja. How is the Naja going to work in this? It's very different than a Hubwa. I can tell you that much. Yeah, it's much more single target, of course. The ultimate is only single target. I would be very interested to see if Naja was ever going to be more than a single target kind of ulting god. Wouldn't that be crazy if he was able to take up like 4 gods if he hit like 4 of them or something like that?
Brilliant balancing.
Yeah, don't put me on high-res staff for balancing. I promise I will not do anything good.
What I think is interesting about my potential gripe with the Naja pick is when Odin drops the cage down, you have to make sure you're getting the order of operations right here. PEMDAS, PEMDAS, PEMDAS.
Yep.
If Naja takes someone in the sky who is in the Odin cage, that's denying the rest of the team the ability to just dish out damage while you're inside that anti-heal ring, and they're going to come back down if they do indeed live with no cage up to remain. So you have to make sure that, I think that that's going to be used, like you said, for some more single target engagements, but the bigger engagements, I'm looking for us to all follow Beau's lead if I'm a member of Sanctified, because that's who you're going to be looking for those massive bird bomb engagements. Whereas Naja, I don't know, it takes you out of the fight. Odin wants to keep you in the fight in a select small perimeter. So I think there's a bit of conflict there.
So it's, you were saying PEMDAS is the order and operations in which we do the cage and then the fire wheels, right? So I think that you could do it in the right order, being fire wheels into cage, right? That would be the correct order. Bring them down, and then they'll be in cage, they'll be locked. It's even worse for them, and then the entire team's there rocking them in the cage. Of course, Shell's gonna have to be bought here by Cosmic Vibes and possibly even HeavyWarcrier to make sure that these phantom shells, as they would call them now, used to be just phantom, would be utilized properly, right? Because if we have 2 of them or even 1 of them, you need to be grouped up and in the proper position to get out of the cage. Otherwise, your team will just die. The only other option is to basic attack the Odin cage down. That's the only other option you have. Or just kill him, I suppose. Just kill whoever's in the cage, but you're doing less damage. You're not healing at all. And that's like the biggest part of this comp is the Terra and the Cernunos and obviously the Fear No Evil, but you're going to Fear No Evil right in the middle of a cage, which usually is what an Odin wants on his team, not the opposing team.
And you know what's scary? I will say, even if like you're trying to try your game plan is to kill the other people that are trying to attack you in the cage as a member of Oathkeepers, Sanctified has the capability to deal out long distance damage on nearly all of their big damage dealers. Ishtar, of course, with the long range arrows. You can have Atlas just tossing in the Astrolabe and dealing out pings of damage that way. And Merlin, of course, is just fine with slinging fire at you from halfway across the lane. So there's a lot of ways that Sanctified doesn't really need to risk their own lives in order to get damage onto someone who's trapped in the zoo cage. And it seems that, though, we're going to try to keep him down at the moment. Cavalry charge going to be expended, but the tower shot is going to find its mark on HeavyWarcrier's back. Not going to be able to find that kill just yet. I like the idea. Make sure to do something before he reaches level 5, which he is going to now. It was a good thought there from HeavyWarcrier, just not going to quite have enough damage to do it.
Yeah, Dracull playing the Atlas is much more interesting than it was previous game. I like this and what he's doing. Obviously, it looks like he might either be going Prophetic Cloak this game or once again going Majesty's Blessing. I don't understand the purpose of Majesty's Blessing in this game for sure. Besides, I guess, Fear No Evil and maybe Stun from Terra from the 2 walls. Besides that, man, I think that Prophetic Cloak is the choice here for Dracull. We'll see what he ends up going this game. I like this matchup. The Blizzard and Perspective Duck, this is neck and neck. Both games in the early game have been very interesting to watch, and I like how they kind of poke each other and then back up, and then obviously we have a ward because of Naja is here. So well done here from Oathkeepers as far as warding on this duo side goes.
And we know Beau could learn a thing or two about that one after that last game. You have to see if there's some cheeky gangs going to come over into the solo lane side. HeavyWarcrier is going to try to reestablish dominance in this lane, just as he did before in the first game. Allow for some early rotations that Guan Yu can be very useful in. Just in general, and I always say this whenever there's a Guan Yu in the field, and it's especially true when there's even more healing in this team, you're going to look for Sanctified strategies going to be burst someone down. We can't have long, drawn-out engagements, because if that happens, the comp of Oathkeepers is going to be so well-suited between Conviction, Monolith, Cernunos' innate passive heals through the glaives. It's going to be a big issue, but it also could be an issue right now. Adora making her way on over, making her way downtown, not going to find the stash, though. Nice cavalry charge, going to counter that on out. Adora's just going to have to opt. Wait, no, don't go back in, buddy. You might be in a bit of trouble right now. Windfire Wheel's going to take him to the skies, make him pay for that decision. Brought back down right into the Odenkade. PEMDAS has happened. You're going to math class, buddy. Gamma Ray going to find him. First blood with Adora.
That's exactly how you do that combo, and what I was exactly talking about is if you do it in that exact order, then you have a much more opportune chance to get a kill, and that's exactly what allowed them to get that kill, because his dash was up. Guan Yu's dash was ready and up to get out of that situation, and if you miss Sash or you miss Bird Bomb, he would have gotten out. But instead, because Cage was there, no heal, no anything for you, little Mr. Guan Yu, and you are correct. Taking the math class was he, for sure.
Taking to the skies first, too. He got the full treatment. HeavyWarcrier just made a poor decision there to go back in and re-engage. He knew it was the 2v1. There was no support going to be coming from his jungler. I can't fathom why he decided to expend that last hit of cavalry charge to get the stun onto Adora. It only resulted in his doom, and that's going to be an unfortunate start there for HeavyWarcrier, because Guan Yu is not someone who does very too well in the lane, so you really wanted to keep... If you could just keep neutral farm status, you're pretty happy as HeavyWarcrier, so unfortunately going to slide a bit on the back foot there.
Yeah, I was going to comment on something real quick, which is Atlas going the Prophetic Cloak. We have Dracull on going the correct item, as well as we switched. We went... Sentinel's Gift was on Fenix last game, aka Oathkeepers, and this game, it's on Sanctified with Dracull, and Benevolence is with Oathkeepers. So they literally just switched their starting items as far as support goes. And also going Gauntlet of Thebes, the first one we've seen in this set entirely. Of course, we love Gauntlet of Thebes. We think it's a great item. It allows a lot of protections to the entirety of the team, not just the support itself. And so it allows for a lot better team fight, which is exactly what Terra does. Terra is like one of the best team fighting gods in the entire game. Cosmic Vibes also finding Adora, but getting sashed instead. We'll have dash, but getting caught here possibly by a wonderful looking Blizzard, forced to use ultimate and going up.
Yep, going up, coming back down momentarily, but this time does indeed have their... Oh no, Perspective Duck not going to do anything about that. Gamma Ray going to pwn him in the face. Blizzard going to take credit for that kill. Perspective Duck can do nothing but watch. Excellent rotations here from both the jungle and the support. They've been acting like a pretty well-oiled machine right now, acting as one. You saw them on the solo side, now you see them on the duo side, getting kills no matter where they go.
Yeah, Dora playing this very well in the Najah right now. Obviously, we both had our questions in the early part of this game and questioning the pick, but it's been going very well in the early game, and that's kind of how Najah works. It's not as good as like a Thanatos early game, but if you can land your ultimates and, you know, take them up into the skies, it creates a lot of chaos for the enemy team, and especially when you have things like bird bombs or a cage at the bottom of it. Speaking of the cage, and there's the
merry-go-round
merry-go-round.
happening. Look at him, he's literally doing it. He's going around in circles, gonna dash on out there, but the bird bomb's gonna drop right into his head top. Can only imagine a kill follow. Sash gonna grant Adora a 3rd kill for Sanctified.
Do you think that a HeavyWarcrier has enough green pots in his inventory right now?
No, I think he should use a few more, honestly, and then
Yeah.
I think that was the issue. He just needed maybe like 3, 4, 7 more, and I think he would have lived that fight. It's just unfortunate. The rotations coming in from Sanctified onto this solo lane side are just too much for him to handle, and the comp is very much made to to squelch any hope that a Guan Yu might have of living. Once again, we see Dracull over here participate in anything. Akamaru farming it on up right now, but hasn't really had any presence in any lane. I haven't seen any gank, unsuccessful or otherwise.
But here's the news, though, is that Hoombots is only level 9, and our wonderful Najah, we were talking about Adora, making great rotations, 2-0 right now, is level 11. So this is just not a good situation to be in, because even if you're farming, Najah is getting kills and farming, and that's not what you want to see. Three-way splitting a green, which kind of sucks, of course, as a jungler. But I expect that Akamaru is going to start looking for some big ganks here around around level 11, level 12. That was hard to say. Around level 11. Around level 12. Goodness, 11.
You got it, man.
Yeah. They're like a tongue twister. Hoombot starts to turn on and starts to become a much bigger threat with a leveled up and big Jotun's Wrath, as well as Hydra's Lament. Hydra's Lament is big on Hoombots.
The question that always comes down for any Odin player, any good Odin player, is you need to consider, okay, do I have one set game plan for when I'm trying to use my cage? Is it going to be to initiate a fight? Is it going to be to close out a fight? Is it going to be to disrupt in the middle of a fight? And I'm curious to see how Sanctified uses that cage to their advantage, because if you initiate with it, with Akamaru being present, but hold on a second, present right now is Akamaru, going to try to get the Fear No Evil, finding a kill, finally on a Dracull. Akamaru bringing their presence now to the dual lane, going to make it good. Adora caught up by themselves. Cosmic Vibe's gonna get a nice root on. Solid damage, drop down to half. Stunned out, but not enough. Windfire Wheel's gonna take him to the sky. We're gonna be dropped right back down into the Baba Yaga field. Long range arrows from Ishtar, not gonna be enough. Root, not bad damage, but not enough. Gonna try to beads on out the Rolling Thunder, but it's gonna be a bit of a waste because the damage was gonna be there from Blizzard to find the kill, and you're not gonna find enough damage for the kill yourself. Gonna settle for a little Gold Fury. Soul's rotating on over there, not intent to let that happen. Merry-go-round here. Well, not a merry-go-round, but a horse nonetheless. Dropping down to Souls, but low mana. HeavyWarcrier might have just bitten off a bit more you can chew. You're not a Hercules anymore, buddy.
Oh, thank God they actually secured that time, though. I was scared that it was going to happen again, just like last game where they got their Pyromancer stolen right in the beginning of the game. Oathkeepers, though, that was a great rotation. I mean, we were talking about great rotations coming from Sanctified this entire game as of right now. But, ooh, Beau trying to get away with what he did last game. Might not be able to get away with it this time because Akamaru is in the area. Overhead smash being used right onto his head, but will not do much damage considering the fact that he has a full, I have not said this name in a very long time, Breastplate of Valor.
Whoa, I haven't said that name since my audition line on Casting Call Club to be a caster here. That's crazy.
Yeah, rarely do you see a Valor. I have, funny enough, actually started building it back onto Guan Yu again, a person who builds it very well. I guess it makes sense when you don't have a heal in your kit because Guan Yu, of course, getting the Breastplate of Regrowth, it's effective. You heal, you go fast. You're a fast horse, you're a fast boy. But on Odin, not so much. You don't really do as much with a Breastplate of Regrowth. You actually do nothing with it, to be honest.
So where do you think the value comes in? Why are we choosing such an unconventional pick here defensively for the Odin?
It just makes sense because it is a very high physical protection item. It's 10 more. 65, I believe, is exactly what it is. Yep, 65, as well as the 20% cooldown, which is really good on an Odin. Odin would love to bird bomb and use that big old 3 and chuck it at someone's face as many times as you can. That spear is as scary as can be in the early game for a soul laner. And so if he can do that 3, 4, 5 more times in an extended fight, then you have a great Odin on your team that's going to pump out a lot of damage. Obviously, we won't see that until a little bit here, but going Valor into Gladiator Shield is a good choice for him, as well as, of course, on the other side, HeavyWarcrier going Regrowth into Shield. Sorry, I just said it, Gladiator Shield. great pick as well. And I'm excited to see this Pyromancer fight because that is the next target for both of these teams.
I think a bit of damage right on Dracull, some poke there. And the Atlas 3 there, the dash, it's normally going to be used to strip away slows from your own team and apply and get yourself a bit of actual movement speed instead. But I don't think there's too many slows to be had here unless you're getting basic down by the Standing Stone's Terra. And, oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. To be fair, Guan Yu's ult, there are some decent slows that Atlas can immune for your team and also provide you some movement speed to boot. So it could be interesting to see that being applied here. Beau, though, going to be in a bit of trouble. Not going to be quite found out. Terra not going to have enough damage. And HeavyWarcrier not going to have enough mana to engage. Pyromancer looked at here. All ults on board. This could be a massive engage. And I think they realized that Sanctified, seeing that Dracull is a bit too poked out to risk this one, I think that was the wise call. You don't want to force a fight when you're already at a bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, let's go ahead and back off here for right now. Dracull, half health, tried to get his dash away.
Oh,
Fear No
no.
Evil is still up right now, might get caught out. Oh, not going to use Fear No Evil's Akamaru. He thought the kill was secure. It is not secured as of right now, and there is the Fear No Evil being used on 2 members. Dracull will fall to it finally, and we have Soulzc and Home Sweet Home is landing on the head, but Odin will come in the background here and try to get one more kill out of the backside of this fight. Will not find it. I appreciate you for letting me chair one for a second there, but I will pass it back off to you as this Pyromancer gets pulled.
And it's looking to be pretty successful because they've used a lot of their big rig ultimates here that would provide some solid team fight ability. The cage has been expended. Good damage there found onto Adora as well as Beau. But hold on, Soul's providing the damage on Akamaru. You've lost your jungler now. Phantom Shell going to be expended. Bird Bomb coming right back down. Not going to find enough damage though. Conviction heals are good. Adora going to also heal on up. But the Terra might be able to find it. Slim going to pick up that one. The shield has been used now on the Bird Bomb. Conviction heals are coming back in. HeavyWarcrier has not left this fight. Might have overstayed his welcome though. Dracull's back. Gamfrey could be finding your head. Oh no, that's actually half cooldown back. So we're good right now, but that was pretty low for everyone. A risky engage. Pyromancer remains the one true victor, staying, I am still alive at the very least. Didn't have my
current
life
score. Yeah, current score is
there
8
it
to
is.
0.
Scoreboard, he says. 4-4 right now. Speaking of that scoreboard, dead even on the kills.
Scoreboard on him. 8 to 0 is the current score for Pyromancer versus the rest of the team.
Exactly.
Capturing
I'm
8
team
kills.
Pyromancer.
Yeah, I'm also
team
team
Pyromancer all the way.
Pyromancer. I'm also team Protective Duck though. This guy, legendary from last week, playing the Cernunos, not the guy he got a pentakill on in the previous week, but this week could be the Cernunos. So that'd be kind of cool to go back-to-back weeks with a Cernunos pentakill as well as an Ishtar pentakill. Obviously a big threat in this lane, but we have seen crickets from this lane. We haven't even seen their faces as of yet, which means they've just been farming over here, and that's why they're literally 2 levels above everyone on the teams.
And this is going to make those rotations that much more impactful. It's going to make that person that much more of a scary target to maybe look at. Someone to maybe focus first in the Odin cage if you're Sanctified. Someone maybe to fear no evil, burst them on down if you're Oathkeepers. Everyone's going to be on the lookout for these 2 carries to make these rotations on over. I want to return back to what I was talking about here with the idea of, it's once again, PEMDAS. Because if we see Beau engage first, which we didn't really see the cage drop that way. We've actually been seeing it used in similar manners as what we said, which is the Naja engaging first and the Odin cage being used in the middle of a fight rather. But hold on a second, a fight occurring over here in the solo jungle. Gonna have to ult on out, but the merry-go-round has once again been put into effect. Can at least have some Terra heals to give you something to stand next to. The Monolith gonna give him some company. And right now, it's a cage expended, but also Guan Yu ult expended. I do think, though, value-wise, the cage is a bit more.
Yeah, cage is a lot more value. That is what creates and starts fights as of right now for the entirety of Sanctified. Protective Duck, we were speaking about crickets over in this lane, finds himself in a quarter of health, running away from Blizzard as he will probably peel off here and just go for the shield buff. Protective Duck says, I'm not done yet. Let me hit you for 399 hit crits, you little buff. And it does not do that much damage. A big dash here coming out from both. That's so funny to watch that happen. It's like just like running away and dashing at the same exact time. It's like 2 cars. Like
everyone's Naruto running away from each other.
Yeah.
Naruto running back into the fight. Fear No Evil going to find 3. Solid engage there. Windfire Wheel's going to take a little bit of a break from the fight. Akamaru going to find some damage, but not too much. Oh, hold on a second. Gamma Ray Blast going to try to find the monkey. Being chased out by the home right now is Adora. Gonna find the stash onto Akamaru. That's rough, but HeavyWarcrier is following up with the Horsey. Gonna follow the other jungler. Both junglers out of this fight at the moment. Some of the Rebel gonna be battling Beau, but Cosmic Vibes is here to provide at least a bit more damage, and the Vibes, of course. Monolith drop, but no heals gonna be provided. Bird Bomb not gonna do quite enough, and it seems everyone's abandoned Beau. Gonna find himself a bit alone, short of friends, short of life. Slim the Rebel gonna pick up the kill.
So the Rebel had to use his Aegis there to get out of that situation. That's why he took no damage from the Bird Bomb. I believe that Cosmic obviously being in the cage with him obviously helped as well to try to help kill for him. But man, there's a lot of things you can put into a cage, but an old lady with a house is probably not one of the ones you want in that house. And Beau has been the biggest pain in Slim's back for the last 2 games as of right now. He just finds that mid laner and says, "If I dare you to be close to me." But here comes the horsey again. Very low cooldown right now for him. Yep, and that will be a kill from Cavalry Charge. HeavyWarcrier getting another kill on the board. He was not doing well in the early game this entire time, though. Oathkeepers have been doing Gold Fury. Oni Fury about to go the way of Oathkeepers, and it will land into their hands. Big minions coming out from the base of Oathkeepers.
And big plays too. Their objective play has been far better, as we've seen, and it's because they don't have to fear the wily plays, the wily movement, and the cross-map ults there from Sanctified this time around. Their movement, though their game plan, though still very effective, potentially, is a lot more obvious and a lot less unexpected for Oathkeepers. So at the very least, they know what they're going to see coming. It's going to be coming very honestly, very much in front of you. No dirty through-the-wall ults that you have to worry about. Adora there, honestly, I think saving their own life by missing that sash, because you had Slim the Rebel standing there. It's interesting, because I do agree that Baba Yaga has a hard time normally against his matchup against the Merlin. Why do we think that has not been an issue, though? Why do we think Slim the Rebel's been just pulling up the damage numbers nonetheless?
The team fights. The team fights have been going a lot more their way, and a big ultimate being used here by Blizzard, looking for the 1v1. Wild Hunt will be used onto Protective Duck, who will, onto Blizzard, who will use their beads and Aegis to attempt to get out and will secure the kill. I'm sorry I'm a little delayed on that call of the kill, but we all saw it. It was a pretty single-handed kill. And speaking of the Merlin and the Baba Yaga, Merlin just has not found the effective way to get to the Odin cage and create the damage that the rest of the team has. Obviously, we've seen Naja multiple times, right? We've seen Naja do this exact thing. Beau, speaking of the guy with the cage, having to use it right here. No one has a jump. He says Akamaru, who can use a monkey to get out and teleport right to Beau's head, but will jump away, is the wonderful looking Odin that I predicted. But Pyromancer is a great call here. We got 4 members of Sanctified, and Oathkeepers are right there as well, but just not as prepared, I don't think.
Fenix once again gonna give it a little cheeky shout out to himself. I saw that. Man, I respect it. Self-plug yourself away, man. In the mid lane here, we do see trying to aggress onto Slim the Rebel. You're right. It just hasn't. I have not seen enough contribution here from Soulzc during these big engagements. It really has been the core of Beau and Adora working together on these ults, but that's not what you want to see, because that shouldn't be alone. You want follow-up to follow the Windfire Wheels, but hold on, a lot of follow-up gonna follow the Fear No Evil. Slim the Rebel gonna find the kill on Adora with the quickness. Dracull gonna try to dash his way on out, only gonna mid his head into a wall there. Akamaru gonna pick up another kill for the team. Soulzc being burst down slowly by the Tower of Assault, and the double kill will fall to Akamaru's hands. Beau now in a bit of trouble. The cage will not help you this time, my friend. Jumping right back in, walled up, smacked down, triple kill there for Akamaru, but burst down by Blizzard off the instant ult there. The Blades of Retribution will indeed find retribution for his team.
Yeah, Blizzard level 20 coming out here is a big ADC right now, ready to do a lot of damage, but also level 20 is Protective Duck, and he's pushing down the left side of this map saying, come here, guys, come here. Let's go ahead and just take this tower real quick, and that's exactly what they'll do. They'll get the Pyromancer as well as, no, they won't get the Pyromancer. Sanctified got the Pyromancer, actually, funny enough, and then Oathkeepers will go back and return that gold by just going and getting a tier 2, which is a smart call here. Slim the Rebel playing very well in the Baba Yaga. I'm very surprised by this situation because I was not expecting it. But Baba Yaga, speaking of Baba Yaga, they got to run right now because there are 3 people in this jungle just waiting for her to lazy back.
I mean, the one phase you're going to see that the Merlin and the Baba Yaga engage each other the most was the mid laning phase, and you never really saw them engaging in the laning phase. You saw jungles not really making too much happen in the mid lane. They were more so focused on the side lanes there, and because of that, Soulzc didn't really have an opening. Merlin's not the best to engage with. No hard CC to easily provide yourself an opportunity for a solo kill without any outside assistance. Going to find themselves short of help, and because of that, going to find themselves short of any ability to shut down this Baba Yaga before it started going. That granny's now cooking.
Yeah, I was going to talk about this because I kind of want to take back a little bit about the Baba Yaga pick. I think it might actually be a pretty good pick due to the fact of it's one of the only extended mid lane CC immune ults. It's one of the only ones. Obviously, Anubis is one of those, but that's not. You can't move an Anubis ultimate. I mean, that might be the future with how.
I was about to say, hold on a second, man. Don't speak too soon. You're dating yourself.
Yeah, honestly, Laser Beam might become Death Gaze might become a moving ability, just like Lotus.
Might become a global ult.
Oh my gosh! Just go across the entire map, hit dual lane.
There it is.
Oh my goodness. but it is one of the only CC mid extended. You know, Scylla ultimate, I'm a monster, is also like that. But this is a good ultimate to have because also if a Naja is going to try to kill you as a mid laner, you can just throw down that fire right behind you and then jump away. Man, Oathkeepers is playing this very aggressively, which is the opposite of what I expected it to be. I thought this was going to be Sanctified controlling this fight the entire game.
Once again, now towing around this fire giant, seems Oathkeepers trying to bait someone in. Their mind's really not on the fire. Their mind's on kills. Wrapping on the back is Beau, looking for the tower more so than I think a cheeky engage, but using that leap and recognizing that Oathkeeper's going to collapse quickly on him. Root down, cage down, but already the walls have fallen and they can dash right through it. Wrapping around for this tier 1 defense is the members of Sanctified. Gonna find some decent poke there onto Beau, but not gonna find any kills.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to find many kills as of right now unless it's in the jungle. There's still a tower up on the right side of the map, which is super unlucky for Oathkeepers. They probably wish that tower was not there right now because that would have been a great chase potential. They had 2 people that could have been easy kills, including especially the Odin with the cage being down. Cage will come up really quickly, by the way. It's not going to take long. You'll be ready probably by this next fight, and I hope that they can have it for a successful fight as well. If you're Sanctified, you really need it.
Yeah, talking about the ways that Odin uses the cage so far, these past couple engagements, it's really been defensive to allow Beau a chance at life to escape from these big engagements when people are just collapsing on him. And that's not what you want to see when this is your ace up your sleeve. You want to see this being used aggressively. So if this keeps going this way for the Oathkeepers, they don't have to worry about that at all. They only have to worry about it just being kind of a minor nuisance to get in the way of me smacking Beau's face in.
Yeah, when you buy things like Solar, when you buy things like Spectral, they serve a purpose. And this is the thing about Odin, is that he serves a purpose in this game right now, like a humongous purpose. It cannot be willy-nilly. It really cannot be. You cannot just be like, oh, Odin will find a place. Odin will just do this right here. No, it has to be very coordinated and very together. And once again, we're not coordinated. We have Beau over here by himself. This time, Oathkeeper said, let's go ahead and just chase him underneath the tower, forcing the cage again, Deelo.
And they don't seem to care about it. That says, okay, lock me in with the tower. I'll just knock that John down, leave with gold in my pocket. I'm very happy about that one. House gonna mosey on over as well to join them right now. That's no doctor, but it is still nonetheless the House. I'm sorry. I've been watching a lot of Dr. House clips. I got House MD on the mind. But right now, the only thing on Oathkeeper's minds is Souls. They're gonna try to maybe get a Fire Giant pick after this. It's honestly pretty available with cage down. I would honestly be pressing this a little bit because that's their big ace, and it seems that they might have recognized that. No, gonna just opt to retreat on back. Personally, would have liked to see a bit more aggression there. You have that cage down, you have all your ults online. Would have been a good opportunity for starting up some action.
Yeah, this game they're being much more, how do I say it? Like not persistent, but like cautious. They're being much more cautious. This is a lot less kills than there was in the last game. Gotta keep in mind that in the last game, in the first 50 seconds of the game, there was already 2 kills. There was one in mid and one in the solo lane. And so this game, there's only a total of 18 kills in this game right now, which means that this is a much more extended and much more thought out type of game. We are once again, this is what we had last game. We had a fire giant dance. That's what you call it. And if you're Odin, it's called a fire giant waltz because you're an old man.
Fire giant crawl, bro. They're moving slow. They don't even care about it. Look at them, all rotating through down to mid lane. It's not going to get done. But Odin cage back up now, at the very least for the next engagement. Gotta hope that Beau's going to use it aggressively. The question is, so then what do we engage with? Does Adora? It seems to me, at the very least, that Naja needs to be the one to lead the engagement for them to have any success. Fire giant being started though.
Yeah, Sanctified pulling it right here. This is a smart decision by them. Let's see if they can get it or not, because Fear No Evil and Cavalry Charge are right here, and it will be taken by Oathkeepers. A great steal coming out from Akamaru. Really well done by him. Cavalry Charge already expended, but 3 members of Sanctified are running away for their life as fast as they can. Blink being used by HeavyWarcrier to try and kill Dracull, and they will secure the kill onto him, as well as a big ultimate coming out from Blizzard, but won't do enough against HeavyWarcrier, who is still alive, but only a quarter health. In the backline is a big old ultimate coming out from Terra that will land a big kill onto Blizzard. Beau stands alone versus 4, ready to bird bomb in though, is what he is.
Come on, man. You know it's too late for your time to shine, Odin. Cage has been dropped, and all ults on the side of Sanctified as well. You still very much have the Wild Hunt from Cernunos, which could provide some big impact if on this they try to really stand by this mid lane Fenix. Blinking on in is Beau. I do not agree with that decision. Souls is not going to be enough for you to defend against all these members. Cavalry riding on in. Wild Hunt going to be used, going to be hunted down like the boar he is. Double kill there for Akamaru. A very short deicide as Adora's going to pop back in and say, oh dear God, what if I spawn spawned into. But hold on, very low are the members of Oathkeepers. Dracull gonna find a kill on Akamaru. Conviction heals, though, will be good enough to keep everyone in this fight, bringing them back up to a 1-to-1. Oathkeepers will take it, and will take it back to the desk. See you in a moment.
Pull another of your cigarettes out. Fuck, I always feel so burned out. I never smoked before I met you. Now I chain smoke the way I like to kiss you. Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back to the memories that we once had, yeah. Tell me how this so easily falls.
Welcome on back, everyone. I'm Deelo, joining for Fenix. You just saw the members of Oathkeepers pulling it together and pulling forward to get a nice W over the members of Sanctified after taking an unfortunate defeat. 1-to-1 at the moment. Phoenix, how are we standing?
We're standing at 1 ward from Beau, which is a lot. That's double the amount from last game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
A lot more than 0.
Double. That's an infinite amount over the last game. We're talking fractions here. Sounds like you need to go back to math class now, Phoenix.
Yeah, take PIMDOS. Take me to PIMDOS. I want to comment on one thing here, which is that we are, and we should be, very disappointed in how the Merlin didn't show up there in that game. We talked about it in the middle of that game, but in this game, it just did. I thought I was going to do a lot more. I thought I was going to do a lot more prevalent and a lot more damage and stuff like that. But, you know, obviously doing the 3rd most damage on your team as the mid laner is probably not what you want to do, especially when your opposition is doing about 3k more than you in that short of a game. I would have preferred to see, like, at least a little bit more aggression out of Soul, or, like, a little bit more, I don't know what he had to do. Either be more cautious or be more aggressive. It's one of the two. Because either he was getting caught out too much, or he was not putting out enough damage with the rest of his team. I think it was a really split field this game by Sanctified. They were not able to find themselves as a group, because we saw how many times did Beau use his ultimate by himself. Because I think it was a total of about 6 to 7 times that he used that ult, and we never saw the combo. The only time we saw that ult be used effectively was probably twice. And probably the first one was that first blood in Soul Lane, right? Where the PIMDOS worked. We did Fire Wheels, and then we did Odin Cage. Perfect. It was a perfect execution of the ultimate. But Beau kept going to that right side of the map and kept trying to clear waves in Soul Lane while the rest of his team was trying to fight at Fire Giant, and it was just not coordinating for them. It was not doing what they needed it to do.
I think, honestly, when it comes to the Merlin pick, maybe opting for a god with a bit more CC could have been more useful. I feel like I just never saw when an Odin Cage was even dropped with a member inside of it who was not Beau. I feel like we never saw Souls there to capitalize and apply Dragon's Breath, apply Blizzards, get off those big amounts of damage with those Area of Effect abilities. I just feel like I never saw that combination go off. And I'm not sure who that is more on. I think Beau and Souls do both share a bit of the blame there. Do want to throw some credit there to my man's Blizzard, making it happen. They're getting a solo off on Perspective Duck. No small feat there after the career that Perspective Duck's been having across these past couple weeks, and especially across the season. Blizzard really was able to reverse a decent amount of the pressure provided there by the members of Oathkeepers, but just was not quite enough.
Yeah, and we can't go throughout this entire post-game call without talking about Akamaru. 10-4, did really well this game. Yeah, that was player of the game right there for sure, doing only a K less than the most in the game, which was HeavyWarcrier, of course, landing so many different cavalry charges. And, I mean, obviously, Baba Yaga 16.5 as well, but Akamaru was creating some chaos in the backline. I think that's one of the reasons why Soul and Blizzard were not able to get off as much damage as they probably wish they would have, is because Fear No Evils were going right onto them and not even worrying about Beau, Adore, or Dracull, because Perspective Duck and Slim the Rebel were killing them very quickly in the backline. So I gotta shout out Akamaru here for doing extremely well.
No, definitely seconding that. It seems, well, you mentioned at the very beginning, this is a very dive-heavy comp that Sanctified has, but at the very, when chips were down, they never really were diving. They were bulking at any fights. They were always on the retreat. And Akamaru, you saw, was the one diving. I thought that Fear No Evil was the ult that was going to be used defensively, but instead it was the Cage. Fear No Evil was used on very many offensive engagements to open up several holes, gaping holes in the team, and provide a lot of damage, a lot of disruption, and it really worked to complete beauty for the team. Slim the Rebel, we talked about that Baba Yaga maybe not being the best factor, but comfortable on it, showing that comfort might matter a bit more over matchup in this case. Slim making it happen, 16k damage, and never dying once for it. Honestly, solid job. They might, maybe target ban. I'm not sure, honestly. What do you think about that? Do we target ban the Baba?
I don't think we target ban. It's okay if you want to. Obviously, he's very comfortable with it. He's picked it 2 games in a row now, and we were told after this game that he is one of his favorite picks, and he will go to that if it's open. I don't think it's the biggest problem. I think that what Sanctified needs to do is relook at their comp, because they didn't play that comp right. That's what I agree. They just didn't play it right, because it is an aggressive comp. That's literally exactly what that is. Every one of them have movement abilities, like really good movement abilities at that. And then you have Atlas, who has like the best movement ability in the entire game, because his entire team can get into it and move like zoomies, like dogs that just got a treat and want to go outside type of thing.
True.
So if we're going to play this type of comp, you have to play the aggressive foot. And so instead, I think we either go to a healing comp, which is exactly what Oathkeepers did, right? This is a healing comp right here. This is a healing comp with defense. This is exactly what it is. But they were able to switch it because they were not. If you're not going to play an aggressive comp correctly, then you're going to be on the back foot the entire game. That's what happens. You're playing the aggressive comp. You don't play the aggressive comp. It's 2 negatives, right? 2 negatives equals a positive. You're going to get pushed. Hey, mathematics. There you go.
We're really finding the theme here. Thematic consistency today is make sure you do your maths, your basic facts tables, your times tables, and all that good stuff.
And maybe go on a merry-go-round.
Gonna have to see if it all adds up here in game 3. That's what comes after 1 and 2 after all. So we'll see you all in a moment. I know my stuff. I'll see you all in a moment here in game 3 for the picks and bans.
Drink to cope, it's an issue, okay. New Year's Day, so now it's a new me. Tell me why I'm so fucking lonely. I don't know why you won't love me the same. Drive into the night, I miss you sleeping. Where did you go? As soft as you're breathing, you left me alone. And I miss the late nights. So where did you go? 'Cause you were my safe ride. Now I drive alone. I miss you sleeping. As soft as you're breathing, you left me alone. I miss the late nights. 'Cause you were my safe ride. Now I drive alone. I miss you sleeping. Where did you go? As soft as you're breathing, you left me alone. And I miss the late nights. So where did you go? 'Cause you were my safe ride. Now I drive alone. Pull another of your cigarettes out. Fuck, I always feel so burned out. I never smoked before I met you. Now I chain smoke the way I like to kiss you. 'Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back to the memories that we once had, yeah. Tell me how this so easily falls apart. 'Cause damn, you still fucking have my heart. And all I have is another of your cigarettes lit, but not a single fuck left to give. I could explode, I feel like gasoline when you're mad at me. Lit a match in the wind, so I'm asking please. I try to cope, go through the motions, no, I got a noose around my throat. Fuck, I love you, but I know that I should let you go. situations got me pressed and I'm on overload. So another of your cigarettes out. Fuck, I always feel so burned out. I never smoked before I met you.
Welcome on back, everyone. Game 3 here. All the marbles on the line. Week 6 of World Division games. Switch up on the sides here. We have on the side of Order, Sanctified. Bit of a salty run back here, trying to claim victory after taking a loss to the sides of Chaos. Oathkeepers wrecking havoc there with the Hunbots comp. Will Akamaru lead them to another victory? Only time will tell. I'm Deelo, joined here by Fenix. Fenix, how are we feeling about the picks and bans?
Target bans already coming out. Guan Yu being banned here. I think that obviously was a big threat coming from HeavyWarcrier. Very persistent as far as like damage went. 17,000 damage coming out last game, and then of course a regular ban of Mercury and Aphrodite. Aphrodite makes the most sense. Very strong right now considering the changes they made to her, as well as Hubwa being banned. We saw in game 1 how I believe it was Adora looked on the Hubwa, and it was very threatening. I mean, a crushing wave or a crushing wave coming in at the end of every single fight and killing someone with 500 health was not what you wanted it to be as a member of Oathkeepers.
I actually am going to find myself disagreeing a little bit with the Guan Yu pick. I get it because that's the game that they won on. But the game before, we saw still providing a big amount of threat with HeavyWarcrier on that Hercules. I'd argue, honestly, a greater impact when it came to the Hercules. Yes, they lost, but they didn't lose because of HeavyWarcrier. In fact, the only time they did lose was because he died when his presence was removed from the field. So I'm actually liking the fact that we're sticking on the side of Oathkeepers. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That makes more sense now.
That makes a lot more sense. I actually really like that play now. Completely denying him his top 2 options. I was about to just talk hell on their heads about how the fact that they're leaving him back to his more comfortable pick, but Adora, well, not actually Adora, but you have to imagine this is going to be going to Beau. Going to potentially pick up that Hercules and put it to good use there. That's a fantastic play, I think, because HeavyWarcrier has been consistent in these games.
Yeah, these guys have proved us wrong multiple times. I was trash talking Slim the Rebel before this game, saying that the Baba Yaga pick was not a good pick, and then saying that, HeavyWarcrier on the Guan Yu in the cage may have not been the best situation to be in, all that kind of stuff. But instead, of course, they always have some kind of target they're trying to go for, something that they're trying to get done. And in this situation, they're also going to take the Hunbots away. They're going to just take all their picks. They're going to say, hey, you like playing this guy? Besides the Ishtar, Perspective Duck has the Ishtar again. But stealing away picks is Sanctified right now.
It's interesting, though. We just talked about the fact that you imagine the Baba Yaga pick would be coming because Slim the Rebel had it open, but now going to take the damage core of the last game from Sanctified. Oathkeeper is going to lock in Merlin and Ishtar. Ishtar, obviously, the god that Perspective Duck might be most comfortable on, but against to see if Slim the Rebel can put this Merlin to work. No, why are we seeing so much of this? What is going on?
Hachiman?
I've seen like 3 Hachiman games recently.
I mean, the horse is pretty cool looking. There's some cool skins for Hachiman, but
if we wanted a horsey comp, don't ban the Guan Yu. Like, this is
do you not like Hachiman?
I'm just gonna keep saying it, man. Like, I've seen a Hachiman win the game, but it's never been because of the Hachiman. Hachiman is just an iOS 2 update to Ishtar's iOS 10. I genuinely do not understand what this god brings in utility over some other gods like Cernunnos or Ishtar.
Hey, so the thing it does bring, of course, is very good objective targeting because of the flag coming down out of the sky, which is really cool. It's cool. It's a cool part of his kit, but of course, I can understand where Hachiman's kits falls short of everyone else's, even like Neith's and things like that, because Neith, with her steroid from her heal that she gets, it gives you attack speed and slows the attack speed of the enemy, right? That's kind of how it goes. And so it's the difference of the steroid with Hachiman. Hachiman's basic attacks become a mile long, but they don't hit much of anything else besides that. That's about all the effectiveness they have. It's not like a Medusa. It's not like a Artemis. It's not like a Rama and all these other guys. I personally was expecting a Rama pick to come up right there, by the way. That's exactly what I would have said. Oh, that's a great pick. Great time to pick Rama right now. Is right now.
And he's going, and not only does it only do longer range basic attacks, but he gets 4 of them, and Ishtar gets like 17 that just puts in your back. So again, it's just I always see this god being outclassed, and it's almost always picked against an Ishtar, which is so strange to me. It's like, what are you trying to prove? But hey, gonna have to see if they can make it work here on the side of Sanctified. Maybe I'll be proven wrong by Blizzard. I hope I am. I always like to see an underdog god come out and make some big waves. Meanwhile, though, we're gonna see some more target banning here. Terra locked out and Athena
Baba
locked
Yaga.
out. They don't
Baba
want more
Yaga.
pieces taken away from their past comps.
Ban it. Ban the Baba Yaga. Do it right here. This is it.
I mean, that's assuming though that this Merlin's not gonna be finding a home into Slim the Rebel.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. My fault. Okay, so we actually first picked Merlin to take it away from Soulzc?
It seems to be the case, but I don't really agree with that if that's the idea, because it wasn't like it was making that much of a big impact anyway. Maybe just deciding that a change up is the right time, but I don't know. I feel like it's not like they'd learned to adjust to the Baba Yaga, really. So I don't necessarily agree with it. It's not like they'd become comfortable with the Baba Yaga either. So really, you're just kind of giving yourself a bit of a jarring feeling, stepping into the shoes of this little mage guy, this robed wizard here. I'm losing my mind. But we're gonna
So
have to
good.
see if some of the Rebel can make it happen. Looking now for the next few picks. Bill has been banned out. Sasano, some typical jungle action here, but still looking for their jungler right now are the members of Oathkeepers.
Yeah, Terra being banned as well, which is for sure a good ban coming out from Sanctified. They did not want to see Cosmic Vibes on that Terra again, creating a lot of healing for his team in the last match. I do like the King Arthur pick here. I think it's very unexpected because King Arthur is not seen as often nowadays, but what Solanaires are seen often nowadays, because it's just like Hercules. What else is there? Hercules, Guan Yu is seen a lot. Achilles is seen a good amount, and Kukulkan is seen a good amount. But King Arthur is a name that I do not say as often. I'm very excited to see what HeavyWarcrier, because this matches his playstyle. We've seen in the last 2 matches, King Arthur matches his playstyle almost exactly.
And when I think of the words HeavyWarcrier, not even just like based on like the player itself, but like the name itself, I think of King Arthur. That's got a big heavy sword. It's a warrior. He's gonna make you cry. Can't to see if he can put that to succession though. Meanwhile, we're gonna pick up a Ymir, my favorite god personally, so I'm always happy to see that. Gonna wall up the Hachiman escape at the very least. Hercules not gonna have an easy time getting out. Neither is Poseidon or Ganesh. They're gonna really kind of play into that. Decide we don't really care about the walls. Could be a mistake. I've seen that walls. Wait, hold on. This is on Cosmic. I've seen Cosmic do work on this. If I'm not misremembering, Cosmic can be incredibly dangerous with this Ymir. This is no pick to laugh at.
There's a couple supports that are very good with walls, including that of Lucent Colors, is another name you probably would know. Very good with the Yamoja. And so this is another kind of god. Cosmic Vibes, yes, you're correct. Very good with walls. And especially with Ymir's walls. I'm excited to see what jungle they pick here, because this could be the capit of all. It's going to be a Nemesis. Nemesis is good with multiple types of builds right now, and I'm excited to see Akamaru on it, because I think he picked this in Scouting Grounds.
He has. I think actually Alkmaar's even picked it more recently than that. Nemesis has been a pick that but in my experience, I believe when the Nemesis pick did come out was not to the most success. I like a Nemesis pick, and I'm always going to say the same reason is because it simplifies your procedure. Your game plan is throw the Divine Judgment on that guy, wall him up, stun him up, get him. It makes things nice and easy. There's no question of who do we target. It's that guy with the big glowing sword over his head.
And there should be a very big target in the situation, which would be that large baseball player in the previous games. But Hercules would be a great target here for that Divine Judgment, considering it just steals all those protections. It makes him just an easy target to kill, especially if King Arthur were to go Sundering Spear. Again, I bring up that relic because it's very good against these types of gods.
In the meantime, though, only one way to see how that's all going to come to pass, and that's by getting into the game. We will see you all in a moment to see who takes it. Oathkeepers versus Sanctified, Game 3. Don't you go anywhere.
Pull another of your cigarettes out. Fuck, I always feel so burned out. I never smoked before I met you. Now I chain smoke the way I like to kiss you. Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back to the memories that we once had, yeah. Tell me how this so easily falls apart. Cause damn, you still fucking have my heart. And all I have is another of a single fuck left to give. I could explode, I feel like gasoline when you're mad at me. Lit a match in the wind, so I'm asking please. I try to cope, go through the motions, no, I got a noose around my throat. Fuck, I love you, but I know that I should let you go. Situations got me pressed in, I'm on overload. I'm on overload, so another of your cigarettes out. Fuck, I always feel so burned out. I never smoked before I met you. Now I chain smoke the way I like to kiss you. Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back to the memories that
Welcome on back, everyone. Game 3 here. Sanctified trying to take it after taking a hefty loss there to Oathkeepers, who are trying to maintain their supremacy over this set. I'm Deelo, joined here once again by Fenix. Fenix, how are we feeling as the minions are taken down?
Feeling very Phoenix right now, feeling like we're together in this situation and agreeing that Hachiman is not the best pick into this game. We don't really see many Hachimans, but you have been seeing him as of late a lot more, not clearing as
Confuses
fast.
me.
Yeah, as an Ishtar and Ymir. The only good thing I can say about Blizzard picking this Hachiman is that that ultimate comes out of Ishtar. What button do you push to get out of everything? You press your ultimate, and then in this situation you can do that as a Hachiman because you're not on her. You're not going to use your big old sand thing and then start chucking your spears at their head and stuff like that. That's not really what you're going to be doing. You're going to be trying to get the heck out of there, and that's what Hachiman does very well against an Ishtar.
But you know what? Also, the issue with that is, well, I'd agree with you normally. The issue is you got a freaking Ymir just going to put up a big fat wall. Your horse is going to smack its face into it and get a concussion. You're just going to die right afterwards. So they've done enough, I think, to just counter that out already with just one simple pick from the Ymir. And that's not even talking about the utility it offers against so many other of these gods. Hercules is going to dash right into it. Poseidon's got no mobility to speak of already, just going to be really trapped, as well as Ganesh. So, yes, the mobility from the ult is really nice. But it's only if you're going to find that mobility and if the Cosmic is going to allow you to leave the fight, which I don't think he ever is going to.
Oh
my gosh.
Hey,
Heavy work,
HeavyWarcrier.
gonna take first blood. Solo kill there. Not sub 1 minute, though. Disappointing, man. Come on, up your times a little bit.
Yeah, HeavyWarcrier, more wards and less time next time. All right, let's get it. HeavyWarcrier, of course. I said this is a cool pick. I do like the King Arthur pick. Rarely do we see a King Arthur in the Soul Lane as of nowadays. We don't see him anywhere else, obviously, because I don't know why you would ever put a King Arthur anywhere else. But I mean, right now that looks very effective. It's the first time we've seen Bluestone in the Soul Lane as well, because not many gods are utilizing it right now. They're utilizing more of the Sigil or the Warrior's Axe.
Gonna have to see if HeavyWarcrier can just continue using it effectively. What I think is interesting overall now, looking at the comp here, Sanctified versus Oathkeepers, we talked about how Sanctified and Oathkeepers generally, a lot of the fights were segmented when it came to game 1. In your opinion, Fenix, who do you think's better for that kind of play versus team fighting?
So when you're talking about the segmenting versus the general team fighting going on?
Exactly. Who's better when you're grouped up? Who's better when you're split up?
Oh, in this game or as far as the
Right
team
now,
goes?
right now I'm talking.
Okay, right now, in this current game, you're going to want to be a team as Sanctified. If you're going to fight in a more of a segment way, you're looking for sure Oathkeepers. Akamaru, I mean, Nemesis is just alone by the fact of it, is if you find a target out of place, your Divine Judgment, slice and dice, and it's over. You're basically killing everyone. Same with HeavyWarcrier. Same with HeavyWarcrier takes someone up. It's kind of just like an alone. You kill them by yourself. It's much more single target, much more segmented types of fights. While the opposing team, you have to team fight around Fear No Evil. There's no other option.
I completely agree with that, and that's where I actually think that Oathkeepers, it's not like they don't have potential. They have solid ability to collapse as a team onto whoever's walled in, stunned up by Cosmic, but they also have a thing of really good potential here to make sure they can segment fights, split off one, guerrilla tactics, take out one, retreat back into the bushes, wait for another opportunity to do the same thing. So I think in that sense, Oathkeepers is a bit more variable of a play style, and they're going to have to make sure to stick to it, because like we saw last game, the death of a team is when you have a comp that's meant to execute a certain strategy, and you kind of abandon that strategy. We saw that happen, unfortunately, with Sanctified. The Odin Cage PEMDAS did not come online, math was not happening, and because of that, they lost. Oathkeepers, I think, are trying to make sure they keep the fight split. Sanctified are trying to make sure they stay together as one big happy family.
Yeah, and generally in this types of situation, the team that stays together is going to win and prevail. It's not typical that you'll find that one person here or one person there can really win the game for you, and so it's going to have to be played in a very specific way for Oathkeepers if they want it to go in their favor, basically, because you have to pick this one, as you're saying, like guerrilla tactics style. We're talking like Vietnam War or something like that, or Korean, excuse me. It's like you have to find one person and then you have to like run away so fast and then heal back up. But here's the problem: they have no healing. There's no like hell to go back to or raw to go back to or anything like that, which means if they get low off that one person, let's say they full out dive the Hoombots and the Hoombots uses Fear No Evil on 4 players and all 4 players lose a quarter to half of their health, there's nothing to fall back to. There's nothing to like go back and heal on, a raw heal, a Terra ultimate, a Terra stone, a pillar, whatever you want to call it. And that's not what Oathkeepers have right now. So it's going to be very difficult for them to play that type of style if that's what they end up doing.
Right now here, I do certainly agree with that. It's going to be interesting to see if they can manage to keep it together. Like I said, I think Oathkeepers has the ability to have some team fight ability, but certainly Sanctified is more so riding on the fact of having the Fear No Evil. Also combined, interestingly enough, talk about the Ganesh here. Ganesh wants you all to stay together because, of course, you have the pillars that are going to be put up, Pillars of Fortune, and keep everyone together locked in a little box, whereas the Foonbot wants to spread you all out. So once again, a bit of math here. Comes to see if they've wisened up and taken up their studying to make sure they can get these combos off right. Fear No Evil, they're right now going to find Akamaru, boost someone out of the fight. But listed up out of it is Beau. Going to be found by Akamaru right upon landing. Wall not at the right angle, just going to strafe alongside of that door. Going to find a bit more damage on himself with the Glacial Strike. Not going to be in too much trouble, though. Both members going to back onto base. Big man rotation, though, here from Oathkeepers.
Yeah, they end up stealing the blue there as well, which is pretty cool. And, of course, trying to get some peel-out kills here. Interesting ult coming from Dracull because Soul is here, as well as Adora. No Fear, No Evil. Cosmic Vibes is right in a big middle place between 4 members of Sanctified and will fall down. Great rotation coming down there from Soul.
I think the only thing that really came down to was just choose your own adventure, and Cosmic decided to choose the right path instead of the straight path, and unfortunately, that was not the right path to choose. No, it really was. Like, he just split off from the rest of the team. Oathkeepers didn't realize that he wasn't following in tow, got dropped back down too quickly before they could do a thing about it. Split out the ice cubes. Unfortunate there, but Sanctified going to even it up 1-1.
One wrong step, right? That's all that he did, and that's where he found himself, was in the middle of 4 members of Sanctified, especially a Soulzc. Still has ultimate here. Kraken is still up, never used there onto Cosmic Vibes. And the sad thing about Cosmic Vibes is that no mobility. Ymir is one of the oldest gods in the game. If you are caught, you're caught. You're basically caught. The only thing you can do is go into your big old ultimate and sit there for a couple seconds. But even then, you're like a Fafnir, you're de-transforming. You're just going to keep getting slammed by abilities, even though they may not be doing as much damage because you're in this ultimate and people are scared to hit you and stuff like that. It's still, you're just sitting there waiting for an ADC to crit you 5 times in a row.
The one trick up your sleeve that you sometimes have as Ymir that I always love to employ was placing the wall right at your feet, but it's only if you're not slowed, and you have to imagine a whirlpool. Unless did they patch that out? I'm pretty sure you can still do that. Placing a wall at your feet, if you're continuing running forward, allows the wall to spawn up right behind you and block your escape. But that's only the case if you're not slowed one bit. But hold on, blocked right now. We do see the wall going to come into effect there. But this time, at the very least, Blizzard going to be able to manage to ride that horsey on out of there. Not trapped by any means. But hold on a second. Trapped right now underneath the tower. Not realizing where he is. But excellent job evading the Fear No Evil with the ultimate onto King Arthur. Going to take some tower shots, though, at the very least. That was really solid from HeavyWarcrier. 9 out of 10 times. He should have died there.
Yeah, the Fear No Evil, if it would have even hit a single tick, that ultimate would have never went off. But instead, it ends up going off and just avoids the entire thing. That's a really bad situation. Even though right now Adora has Jotun's Wrath, it's not going to come up very quickly because it's a very long cooldown. As well as you have Boomba Dagger as of right now on Hoombots. It takes a long time for Hoombots to turn on and become a very effective player in a game. I told you last game was about level 13 or level 12 that you'll find yourself as a Hoombot's able to do a ton of damage. He's only level 8 right now and might end up falling behind a little bit here. I'm not surprised as well to see that Akamaru is going a crit build on the Nemesis. That is very regular nowadays on a lot of junglers, including that of like Bakasura and even gods like Kali. You'll find that people are building crit because it's so effective right now.
And he's gonna be trying to. It's not like this comp doesn't allow Akamaru to stay up in someone's face. You can, huddle around the fire while HeavyWarcrier lifts someone up, wait for him to get back down, so you can start basicing them. Obviously, the slows and stuns coming in from Cosmic allow for that as well, and even a bit of CC there from Perspective Duck. Actually, funnily enough, we haven't really seen too much going on here in the dual lane side, as both carriers just content to farm on up. But also, something that I want to talk about here is Nemesis Shield. I feel like oftentimes doesn't really play as a factor. But in this one, can be decent, at the very least against the Whirlpools. As long as you're not getting hit by large CC chains that have hard CC, where you're going to end up getting that thing stripped, the shield can actually provide a decent amount of healing for yourself and make sure you get out of those fights a bit more safe. What I'm looking to, though, is in this case, Soulzc. Poseidon is a god that has really big swing moments off these ultimates. Once you release that thing, though, your value decreases significantly. Gonna be up to Soulzc to make sure those plays are wisely put, and you can get some solid kills off them.
Poseidon is very much so a one and done type of god, especially with Kraken Whirlpool combo. But of course, if you build Poseidon in a very specifically with Polynomicon, that's a great item to get. If you are playing a Poseidon, you become much more effective after using those abilities. But speaking of becoming effective, Oathkeepers are going to try to be effective here and pull an early goal here. They do like these a lot more. Not exactly early, only 10 minutes. Glacial will come out and will secure. Oathkeepers securing as well as Dracull is half health waiting right here. A big Kraken coming out into Akamaru. HeavyWarcrier smashing the head of Soulzc. And I think Oathkeeper says, let's go ahead and get out of here because there's 5 members here and ready to fight us. A big ultimate coming out from Blizzard that will secure at least 1 kill. Soulzc will secure another for Sanctified as Cosmic Vibes is trying to get out with his life but will not get out thanks to a big flag drop. Blizzard with a great double kill.
Hey, he used the trick that I said. That was kind of cool. It didn't work, but he used it. Thanks, Cosmic, for proving I was right. There's my Chair 2 moment. You'll see another one in another year. But yeah, really big fight there from Sanctified. Gonna make it happen off that gold tier. Hold on now. Beau gonna be in trouble. At the very least, Akamaru trying to make something happen on the other side of the map. Oathkeeper's gonna pick up a little consolation prize in the form of Beau. Akamaru, nice job there of picking that little solo kill. Unfortunate there from Sanctified, they weren't able to disengage quite quickly enough. It seemed like there might have been a bit of hesitancy, not recognizing, do we want to fight this? Do we want to collapse right now? Or do we want to dip off with our golden pocket? Gonna make the wrong choice there. Once again, a telltale choose your own adventure, and that tail is gonna spell death for many of the members of Oathkeepers.
Yeah, it's really well done with the Fear No Evil, again, from Adora. We've seen some really good Fear No Evils this game, and last game, of course, from different sides of the teams here. Last game, we saw it from Akamaru, I believe, on the Hoombots. This game, we see it from Adora, which is really effective for the entirety of the team fight when you can land big ultimates like that. But of course, it can also be good for one-on-ones. If you're going to try to one-hit someone down, Hoombots has a lot of damage and can do a lot of damage very quickly. But speaking of a lot of damage very quickly, we have a neck-and-neck race here in the jungle as of right now, which I'm surprised by. I thought someone was going to hop forward here.
Yeah, I mean, both of them just really trying to make it happen for each team, putting off engagements as much as possible. It seems that right now Adora's focused on those bigger engagements at the very least. Akamaru getting off some cheeky solo kills off in the jungle, tying him to the radiator and just leaving him to die. Yeah, it is exactly what we talked about. It's what they're built for right now. So I'm glad to see Akamaru at least making that happen. I want to throw some credit to Soulzc real quick for that, because the engage off the Kraken was massive. They collapsed very quickly onto Dracull, and the Kraken came out, hit 2, half health Cosmic, and I believe it was HeavyWarcrier as well. Well, another Kraken going to come in there. Oathkeeper's going to secure using... Oh, hold on. Actually, no, it wasn't. Sorry, not the Poseidon, but they're gonna use the just their own secure, I suppose. Big boulder used as well as the Kraken, but still wasn't enough. That's unfortunate there from them to Sanctified.
Yeah, they tried to get it right there. No bomb. The bomb. Someone go get it, please.
What's even the point? I'm done, bro. That's really upsetting. I mean, they had to flee. They were underneath a lot of pressure. I really can't get too upset about it, but they could right now. Just mosey. Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
It's absolutely gone, and there was no chance of it ever being picked up. I mean, someone go donate and pick up and adopt a bomb the next time you have a chance, or runic bomb to be more specific. They're worth 33 gold.
Smite draft donation pool, increase our pot for the prize pool, but also save a bomb. Thousands of bombs are abandoned every Smite draft league set. You can save them.
Yeah. Imagine we get like $33 donations.
There it is, man. I don't expect any donations. These players are ruthless, man. No one gives a damn about the damn bomb. All they want is kills. And right now it's 4-2 looking up here for Sanctified, but some solid objective play from Oathkeepers could keep them up on the up and up. Right now, Beau is going to be in a bit of trouble. Nice job segmenting out these fights. Once again, this is where they excel. Lifting him up, crashing him back down to the waiting arms of Akamaru. Not even going to need the help, though. HeavyWarcrier going to get a nice, clean kill onto the enemy solo.
2-1 right now for HeavyWarcrier, 0-3 going the way of Beau, but we also have a fight over here on the left side of the map. This is a good trade opportunity from the right side to the left side of the map. If Perspective Duck can go down here, Fear No Evil being used, beads being forced out by Perspective Duck will not be enough to secure the life. A teleport being used here by HeavyWarcrier, trying to come and get a return kill again.
It's a bit too late, though, at this point. Laser Retribution didn't need to come off to get some solid damage onto them. Just going to try to deal what he can, retreat them on back. HeavyWarcrier, sporting level 14, but Adora also pretty fed up, so I don't think you're quite as powerful as you might think. Gonna sling some long-range arrows there is Hachiman, as a Hachiman do be doing. Cosmic Vibe's gonna look for maybe some cheeky walls there. Nice wall there. Glacial Strike gonna find some decent damage on our Dracull. Wrong character there from a different game. Apologies, we're not playing Castlevania. Got a bit carried away from myself. Now on a retreat, though, into the waiting arms of Akumaru and Slim, who are looking to support, but gonna decide to just take the damage they've gotten here. Beau is rotating on over, not happy after that last engagement, but not gonna be able to quite find anything either. Hercules is not the one you really see being bullied out this early, so we're gonna have to see if that affects this, the effectiveness of that Hercules in these later rotations, but I still imagine those boulders will hurt no matter who it's hitting.
Goldfear are gonna get pulled here. This is about to be a very problematic fight because you have a lot of actually low health people, including that little monkey in the mid lane right there, Odora, already quarter off of his health, and of course the support of Sanctified has down to a quarter of his health left basically. It's not going to be as easy as you think to pull this Gold Fury, but I think the Oathkeepers finds that they have the best opportunity right now.
I think they're a bit hesitant just because of how the last fight ended, but they can engage a bit better. The pillar's going to be expended there, but this time not going to play with their food at all. Dracull will fall, but grouping up a little bit too much. That's a big worry there. Soul's going to get a double off the Fear No Evil. Blizzard going to pick up a third kill for the team. That was, as soon as I saw them grouping up, it was over. Textbook curtains for them. It seems that we're going to try to have HeavyWarcrier retreat on out, playing their tank game the best they can. At least Akumaru is here to support. Could potentially find some return kills if you're not careful. Going to take the solo, or sorry, not solo. Going to take the Hachiman up in the air. Akumaru blinking on in. Solid damage on the Souls. Going to have the bees and Aegis on out, but going back into the fight is Adora. Beau gonna find the kill on Akumaru. Driving strike right back into the whirlpool. He's playing in the kiddie pool right now. Gonna try to juke his way on out, but the staff slam's not gonna allow that. Big area of effect damage, big kills, all on Sanctified. Excellent job there in that engagement.
Also getting the Gold Fear, I don't know if you even saw that, but that Kraken not only secured 2 kills, but secured a Gold Fury, which means that the Gold Fury is now down 0-1. Unlucky for the Gold Fury. We root for the Pyromancer in this Discord. But the Pyromancer baby. And then we got Fire Giant team, of course, but I don't think anyone cheers for the Fire Giant because kind of got replaced. Surtur was just the better Fire Giant. That being said, great. Yeah, no one likes him right now. Great ultimate coming out from Soulzc, and that's what we're talking about, right? This is the team fight situation that Sanctified was looking for. And if you can't find those single picks, and then because they tried to force the Gold Fury without a pick, and that forces, guess what? A team fight to occur, basically, because no one's picked and it's going to be a 5v5. And that's where, of course, the Oathkeepers are going to find their flaws. They're going to come out the most because there's no answer to a Kraken right now, or a Fear No Evil, or I don't even know, man. A driving strike from Hercules is just devastating right now for them. Even though Beau is behind by a level or 2 right now. Hey, picked up the bomb. Congratulations.
They killed our
Dracull. Dracull, congratulations.
No, give it a little bit of clap there to the elephant. Good job. We saw it coming the moment they started grouping up around that Gold Fear. I knew it was curtains because you had the Kraken coming in there. You had amazing Fear No Evil from Adora to set it up on a silver platter. Soulzc is making it happen, but it's thanks to the jungle as well. Must throw credit to both. Equal parts of the team, 50-50. Hold on a second. Going to be split in half, maybe 50-50 is Beau. The Divine Judgment has found him. Going to be retreating, though, into Adora's arms, and that could be big trouble. They're stuck in the jungle where the Fear No Evil could be incredibly impactful. Good freeze there. Good beads, though, as well. Going to jump on out. Hold on. Walled up, though, but the target splitting's happening as well. Soul's going to find a nice cheeky gank on a Perspective Duck. Meanwhile, Cosmic going to find an ult kill onto Adora. Seems that there's a nice trade happening on both sides of the map here. The big rotations, they're going to meet in the middle, a big clash of the Titans.
They're all going to go from the right and the left and meet in this mid lane with no towers on both. Oh, actually, I guess that Sanctified actually does have their tower up.
They're trying to change that
now. They are trying to change that, but I don't know if it's the best option to change it right now because 2-man push coming out from Beau, and this is the team fight we're talking about. Soulzc obviously does have ultimate right now, which means if they wanted to push forward, they could get some kills, and Dracull will land the dash right onto Heavy's head, but will not be enough. Soulzc is waiting very patiently to use his Kraken at the right time and said, "This is not it. This is not the one, boys."
I think that a bit too patient, if you ask me, to
Yeah.
have them locked down into the tower, driving strike there beautifully by Beau. I don't know what better opportunity there is for you to crack in.
That
There was two
two-man
members
push.
lumped up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he just might be seeing something that I'm not seeing. He's casting the knuckle bones and he's got the tarot cards out. I can't tell what this man's cooking right now, but it must be good to deny that opportunity, which I think really could have spelled at least one, if not two kills there for Sanctified.
And possibly
Meanwhile,
a
you're
fire
gonna
giant.
You can continue the what did you say? I'm sorry.
And possibly a fire giant, you know?
You know what?
Yeah.
That could be true. They might be looking for just some bigger object. But you know what? I always say, if you can use your ultimate in a way that's going to be impactful in some way, never want to hold your ultimate to the point where it's like you could have just had another ultimate. Doesn't seem like that's the play here either. They're just going to be opting to mope around the jungle a little bit more, find some farm where they can. So yeah, unfortunately, a bit of passivity there from Soul's going to cost, but this cannot be said to blemish what's been a great track record so far for him. Can't really say the same though for the Merlin.
Oh, go for it. I guess they said go for it. Sanctified just got it.
Bada bing.
Pushing their lead even further. I mean, this is now a 2K, almost 3K lead in the way of Sanctified, and the XP lead is minor, not as big of a deal to be honest with you as of right now, but 2 levels behind is the ADC of Oathkeepers, Ishtar, struggling to find a good amount of farm in these team fights, being 0-4. Perspective Duck, this is very night and day in comparison to his last week performance, where he was getting pentakills and controlling the entirety of the team fight situation for his team. So I'm surprised to see this 0-4 number next to his name, but of course we know why it's there. It's because he's been ganked so many times by Soulzc as well as Adora as of right now. A lot of Fear No Evils and a lot of Krakens, which are a lot of big ultimates that you have to use BG and Aegis both on. You can't have 4 of them. You can only have 1.
Yeah, it's disappointing because you expect the Ishtar to do. I mean, I must eat crow because right now the Hachiman is 3-0 at the moment over Perspective Duck. So I will tip my cap to the Hachiman at the moment. But I do want to say, certainly was a team effort there to make sure to bring Perspective Duck down while propping Blizzard up. Hopefully, going to make some big plays happen there in this Hachiman. That was an interesting bead there. It's going to provide you no help there against that freeze now. Soul's gonna take an unfortunate dive to the fountain that seemed a bit unnecessary if you could just use those relics a bit less panically. Now Dracull find himself body blocked up by HeavyWarcrier. HeavyWarcrier's got his back to him though. He's just kind of like backing it up, doing the gas pedal right now in a Dracull. The elephant not really a fan though, gonna dash on out of that fight. Teleporting on in though, we do see his Beau. Now Pyromans are gonna be looked at by Oathkeepers. Hopefully they'll pick up the bomb this time if they do indeed drop it.
I don't see it as of right now. It looks like someone did pick it up. It must have been the Nemesis. It was, yes, it's in their inventory. Beau and Warcrier, man, these two are going to mess each other after this game and say GG because these two have been boxing it out for the last little bit. But speaking of boxing it out, what a humongous Fear No Evil.
And right into the pillars too as well. Solid damage there. Dracull gonna just own one out. HeavyWarcrier cannot use abilities for a little bit longer. Dracull frozen, but not the one you want to find. Wrapping around the back, we do see all the members of Oathkeepers have indeed joined the fight. And meanwhile, the members of Sanctified are rallying. HeavyWarcrier gonna take a little dive on in, but to think better of it, retreat back into the mid lane. Dracull pretty low. Boulder gonna come in, bounce around a little bit, but Akumaru gonna get the kill on a Dracull. Now Beau realizing a bit worse for wear, half health. Chased on out. Big Kraken to stall him out, though. Souls is claiming them right now. Slim gonna fall. Ishtar gonna be right afterward. HeavyWarcrier gonna pick up a kill on the Souls in return, but not gonna be enough as we do see the collapse back on him. This Hachiman is doing damage.
Boom. Wow.
Boom! Triple kill there for Blizzard. I really am eating my words, and they are eating the basics here. But Akumaru, once again, always the sly one, managing to make something out of nothing there. Gonna find the 3rd kill for his team. Well, meanwhile, the fire's gonna be started up. This is gonna be a bit risky, but hey, I guess you have the lifesteal to do it. And the crits to boot as well. The flag is providing exactly what you said. A lot of objective shred. Beau's gonna have to be careful, though.
Yeah, I think he'll hit the ground a couple of times, as I said a couple of games ago. He may go down right here. Yep, he's going to, I think. But it will still be a secure for Sanctified, which takes it away. Still, 2 members of Sanctified will have Fire Giant. It's not the most...
Is that worth?
Yeah. If you any way you can take the Fire Giant away from the enemy time is worth. Yes, 100%.
My issue is I don't think it was necessarily actually I guess it was kind of guaranteed to fall. And you have all 5 of them members up right now while Beau is down. So Blizzard gonna make they're both gonna make the executive decision right there that Beau's life is certainly worth Fire Giant. And like I said, I do appreciate self-sacrifice for the sake of the team. It is gonna fall on a Blizzard who, like you said, has been doing mad work right now, only being surpassed by only being surpassed the moment on damage charts by the King Arthur. So solid showing there for the Hachiman. I truly am going to have to say it a million times. I apologize, Blizzard. Keep up the good work.
Blizzard also building Devourer's gloves, which is rare. You don't see that as often nowadays. You see more of the Bloodforge build, which makes more sense. Devourer's glove, also known as Devourer's gauntlet.
Mhm.
This is a Deathbringer chin size into Demon Blade build, which is a really cool crit build. I'm not so used to it as I am very much so used to the Perspective Duck build with a dominance right there. But I love how he's doing that because it means that he has a lot more shred against these immobile people, especially Ymir, because
True.
Kin Sai is just going to shred health. That's exactly what it does. It's literally an item been made since season like 2 or season 1 to exactly kill tanks. Obviously, Executioner works really well with crit, and it does not do as well with a penetration build or something like that. I guess you can kind of think, oh, Kin Size is the way to go, Dominance is the way to go, or Executioner is the way to go. All three are great options, but instead, Hachiman, aka Blizzard, will go Dominance and Kin Size, and will also be critting a lot of times here because he also is going to go the Gilded Arrow, which allows for him to have more crit chance per gold and a lot more damage. It's going to be pretty crazy.
Chris being found on the Gold Fury at the moment, but going to be dropped. It's once again, kills are the main objective here. Beau going to be caught out, but the Hercules at this point is going to be just fine to take a bit of poke. And the Gold Fury will be dropped nearly uncontested by Sanctified. Everyone just about feeling pretty healthy. Wrapping around the back here, they're going to find HeavyWarcrier is called out a little bit, silenced, not able to dash for a little bit longer, but eventually the several movement abilities from... wait, hold on a second, never mind. Fear No Evil right back into the mess of the team, and Oathkeepers are trying to rally to find some way to help their teammate. Going to try to collapse back onto them. The wall going to find at least a bit of diversion, going to try to make them walk around it, get a bit more slow. But now Cosmic's the one who's lagging behind. Crit back down, knocked back up and into the team. Staff slammed into the ground. Blizzard gonna find that one. He's unstoppable, ladies and gentlemen. Dashing back on into the safety of the tier 2 tower, Zakamaru. In full retreat, they're gonna try to defend it, maybe get the same luck that Sanctified did before, but it's not that kind of movie, it seems. HeavyWarcrier, HeavyWarcrier was indeed.
Yeah.
Beau gonna knock him right back in the midst of his team, drop him down for them. 2 down on the side of Oathkeepers. They're moving right back on in. Pretty low though. Shelled up, gonna have to make sure they're staying healthy during this fight. You do still have Perspective Duck with the long range capabilities to ward them all off. And you don't have a Fire Giant buff to keep you sustained, so they're gonna opt to leave with what they have, which I agree with. Do not overstay your welcome.
Yeah, Beau. Beau was the singer, the operator, whatever you want to call it, to be like the main person in that fight. Beau pulled 3 of the 3 kills that they got. It was actually 2 kills that they got, I believe, because it was Cosmic Vibes and HeavyWarcrier. But
Correct.
it was those 2, but he almost got a third big pull onto both of the carries, being Merlin and Perspective Duck and Southern Rebel. Both almost got pulled again. He is landing these knock-up and driving strikes like no else. I am amazed by Beau's night and day difference between the early game that he's been showing, because he was getting soloed, in the early game here. He was not doing well. And in these team fights, though, as we said, this is a team fight comp, and that's exactly how he's playing it. He's playing it like a team fight and exactly like it's supposed to be. And did you see the single use of Fear No Evil in mid lane onto HeavyWarcrier? Did not get the kill, but it created the fight that ended up creating 2 kills for Sanctified. And now I expect them to easily get this Fire Giant, no problem, and possibly even get a pick as a team.
Doesn't look like they're looking to make it as easy as you might say, my friend. I'm not too sure. They're all milling about, but like you said, when it comes to these team fights, that's the big issue for the Oathkeepers, especially when Sanctified initiates. It never feels good to be initiated on as a nemesis, because if you drop an ult onto someone when they start to dive in, if they haven't full committed, they can just waltz right back on out. You want to be diving onto them and preventing their escape. Same thing with Ymir. Ymir feels horrible to escape with, but feels much better when you're trying to block out someone who's a bit immobile like this Poseidon. And meanwhile, it seems that Dracull is in pretty big trouble. Boulder going to be dropped, finding a few, but not enough damage there. Dora in the back, though, going to find the cheeky kill on a Slim the Rebel. Merlin's been removed off this team fight.
Yeah, it ain't Baba Yaga anymore. This is Merlin, which means that once you use Flicker, it's all over, basically. You have no house to get into. And that's a rough thing for Slim the Rebel. I think that if you're going to be in that position against a Hoombots, you don't want to find yourself in that position. Just don't be in it, basically, is the only option you have. That's the same. The same goes for Nemesis against the entirety of Sanctified. If you don't want to get caught by a Nemesis, just don't be in a position to get caught. And that's exactly what Sanctified is doing. They're just staying in a position to not get caught by these types of players. Soulzc was a great pick. It would have been a great pick. But instead, I'm telling you, man, these plucks from Beau are on point right now. He has not missed like a single one in the last like 5. But anyways,
there's no support to be had on the plus, but they barely put the fear in you. They could get a cheeky beads out of someone. You could end up making someone panic real quick. But right now, Fire Giant going to be taken there by Sanctified, and now this fight's going to look quite poor here for HeavyWarcrier. Going to bow his way on out stage left. Cosmic, fine on health and mana at the moment, but looking to it looks a little bit lost, wandering back and forth, caught in a whirlpool. Once again, Ymir is just not the one that you want when you're trying to make a hasty retreat. Going to be flagged down and taken out there by Beau.
Yeah, we talked about Ymir and the e-mobility of this god, and that's exactly what was just shown on Showcase. You know, trying to exit stage left, as you said, or stage right in this situation was not working very well for them. And HeavyWarcrier, wow, getting big time hit here. And this is a Fenix Surge, but quarter health on almost every one of these guys. Divine Judgment being used on Hachiman, but he got on his horse and said, nah, Nakamura will instead go down, thanks to a big pull from Soulzc.
The nice pillars there are going to be used to expend. Once again, that's not the one you wanted to see, that Divine Judgment fall on. It might have been a misclick amongst the haste of the crowd fight, but now Blizzard's going to continue just going on a warpath. Adora going to find one as well as Blizzard. Soulzc going to ensure the deicide. Duck does not like that kind of water. Whirlpool going to find the Titan as it's dropping quick. This seems to be the game. Cosmic Vibes is not going to be able to do much other than freeze. Gets a nice kill for himself at the very least. Hey, you got to feel good about that one. But can't feel good about the results there. Unfortunately, going to fall. Sanctified take the game and the set. We'll see you at the desk.
Pull another of your cigarettes out. Fuck, I always feel so burned out. I never smoked before I met you. Now I chain smoke the way I like to kiss you. Cause I know you're with them while I'm here, staring at a red light. Stopped, windows down, cursing at the street signs. When every road could lead me back to the memories that we once had, yeah. Tell me how this so easily falls apart. Cause damn, you still fucking have my heart.
Welcome back there off the heels of that amazing, very intense set here between Sanctified. The victors now, Oathkeepers, going to unfortunately find themselves in the loser's bin. What do we think, Phoenix? How'd this all shake up?
I think you have to say it yourself. Take a look at that little red guy on the left side of your screen and tell me
I'm
his
out,
score
bro.
line.
All right, Blizzard. Hey, tip my cap to you. Like I said, I like to see my expectations be reversed. I'm not always looking to be proven right here. I'm just a meek C1. I don't make predictions. I'm dummy. My brain goes burr. Blizzard really made it happen there. I've never, I can say this authoritatively, never seen, even when a Hachiman has won, the Hachiman be the reason why, despite it being the carry. I'm glad to say that I can now stop saying that. That has now been something that's been proven to me. Hachiman's got some potential. Blizzard really proved it, especially when it came to the one moment that I think that the Hachiman was unique and gave that unique presence was on that Fire Giant pull, which I had some questions about that being the right play too, but it took it off the map, like you said, for the members of Oathkeepers and gave himself a little bit more of a boost in the next fight. So hey, my cap's off to you, Blizzard. You did great.
And congrats. We also doubled the wards again on Beau. Congrats. 1 to 2. This is an infinite amount
There it
more.
is, man.
Yeah, we went from 0 to 1 to 2. Beau, I think your plan is like a kind of just doing it in the game order, right? Game 0, game 1, game 2. You're good to go. But I did want to comment on, I want to go back to exactly what I think Oathkeepers could have done to win this game. I'm not going to say how Sanctified won this game, of course, because I think we kind of can tell. They played like a team. They played like a unit.
It's true.
And they landed a lot of Krakens, a lot of really good Fear No Evils, a lot of really good flags from Hachiman, and a lot of really good Dharmic Pillars from Dracull. So we can just go ahead and brush by this. How do we have Oathkeepers possibly win this matchup and get a game 3 win? We probably, as I said earlier in this game, was if you're going to play this kind of comp where you're going to have to do the little poke in, poke out, poke in, poke out. It's in shooters, it's called like shoulder peeking, you know, right? You're going to get hit a couple of times possibly and lose some health. But if you have a Sage on your team, if we're talking about like Valorant, you can get healed in the back end. So I know I'm doing some Valorant references, but the same idea applies here. you can peek the corners. You can peek. If you're going to be Slim the Rebel and you're 1-4 in this game, you can peek the corners if you have a Terra support. I understand it was banned in this game, but you could have a Hell solo. You could have a Raw mid, and then your Perspective Duck could possibly peek a bit more. You could have a Chang'e solo. You could have there's a lot of choices. There's a lot of options as far as like healing goes for your team, and I think that would have prevailed a lot better for Oathkeepers if they would have had that backline to fall onto and just say, hey, retreat, group up, throw down hill, and then go back in. Boom, we're back into it. We have full ultimates, whatever. Boom.
True. No, I do see your point there. I agree that it could have been useful to have a bit more than sustain. Unfortunately, they were not. They were getting peaked themselves, man. They were getting opt. We're going to throw in a different reference now. We're going to Counter-Strike. They were getting peak opt instantly. As soon as they turned a corner, just bursted down. The combos were just too great from Adora and Soulzc, who were really the core of that team. But we must give credit to Beau as well, as you said, amazing pulls, some really solid pillars there from Dracull. Everyone was really doing their job effectively, whereas the jobs that were given to Oathkeepers, it was more individualistic. And I think if you were to see that be successful, you also wanted to see more early aggression. I don't think there was enough ganks, nearly enough on a Perspective Duck's lane, especially. You wanted to get Perspective Duck ahead. Like we said, that's one of your, that's definitely one of your key players. HeavyWarcrier was always reliable. You didn't even really need to do that much ganking. HeavyWarcrier gets solo kills easy. Got the first blood for himself. But Perspective Duck was kind of fallen to the wayside, unfortunately. That's going to be a duckling without a mother, and Akamaru, I think, needed to make a bit more happen in the dual lane for that to be a success.
Yep, and I think that both games obviously played very well. It was a very good set. That second game was really cool to see from Oathkeepers, to bring it back a little bit and kind of have a comp that really worked well for them. And obviously to see Sanctified with some of their flaws come out, obviously it was not as good of a game. So goes both ways. Every game was a pretty neck-to-neck game. Kind of came down to who was going to win that Fire Giant, who was going to secure it. And I hope to see these two play well in the playoffs, you know?
And I'm sure they'll take what they've learned here. No matter if it's a win or a loss, there's always room for improvement, a higher skill ceiling you must reach. And I hope these two teams continue to reach for greater heights as they move on into the playoffs here, into playoff season. Thank you all, that being said, very much for watching this special treat of a game. And thank you very much for the players for giving it to us. It was a joy to watch. I've been Deelo, joined here by Fenix. Keep on watching Smite Draft League games. Keep your eye on out to the sky for more playoff notifications. And we will see you all next time.